I had to use it again. I like it. I like that one a lot. That's from Carl Casey. I don't remember the title, but it doesn't matter either. Just go there. Anything you might want to play there is fine. Or more than fine, actually. Pretty good music. Anyway, right, so, you know, I did talk about this. I did talk about a nice just chatting stream, which I will just use to practice my presence on camera. Except first, oh, hi Neris, how are you? What was I saying? Right. So, except first, I will have a smoke first, and I'm also having a drink, a soft drink, that is. Yeah. Dead mostly. Yeah, I can feel that. What do you think of the changes I made to Discord? I guess Zai is now happy. We've got our little threads going. Yeah. Maybe I overdid it. Sometimes I overdo it. Like I just go like, okay, yeah, if I'm doing it, why not just add like 2,000 fucking threads about everything? But it doesn't matter. It can be there. It can be there, I guess. You think it's good? Yeah, me too, I think. Yeah. Serviceable is the word, right? 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 Anyway, English is hard right now. I have to warn you, English right now is very hard. Thinking is very hard. It's like, it's Saturday evening, at least for me it is. I mean, you can see the time there. I just came out of a steaming hot bath. I used a very old eyeliner that I had, and trust me, now I know why I wasn't using that one. Fortunately, maybe the camera will be like generous to me. It will be a generous like virtual god, and it won't show too much. I fucking hate that thing. I need to buy a new one, but you know, I've been lazy. So I just used that one, that old one, and yeah. As I was wondering, like, why didn't I use that? It turns out there is a very good reason. Anyway, yeah, I don't think that you'll be able to tell, which is good. So, just chatting, huh? This is what it is. I watched. Let's start with easy stuff, right? Like something like a warm up, something like something to ease you into it, I guess, or ease me into it actually, not you. I watched the new Hellraiser movie. The poses are because I'm smoking. Have you watched it? Has any of you watched it? Oh, by the way, how are you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for, well, not asking. Probably wondering. Thank you for wondering. There you go. Potentially. You've watched 0 Hellraiser movies. Alright, then avoid the new one, I guess. That's what I have to tell you. Look, the good stuff about it is that it is a little bit more modern, but not by far. Because seriously, like Hellraiser as a movie, I guess, what would you improve anyway? Some of the visuals, I suppose, are better. Like when Leviathan shows up, it's majestic, I guess, and it's better than like the old effects. Obviously, if you watch Hellraiser 2, I think it was 2. Yeah, I think it's 2. Yeah, that particular scene with Leviathan there and the maze and like that weird beam and everything like that was a little bit goofy, I suppose, but the rest wasn't too goofy. So I think that's done better, obviously, like, you know, sound and visuals I think are better. it explores some interesting concepts, or not concepts, but rather questions. Like, for example, but they're silly questions, right? Like, we don't need them answered. Like, for example, what happens if the person who has been, targeted or marked, let's say, is in the presence of others? Yeah, uh, which I have to say is answered, but also not answered, because it's left a bit ambiguous, like what the other people would see if they would just turn around, Also, spoilers. Okay, let that sink in a little bit. Spoilers. Okay, as if anyone cares, but like, yeah. So when that particular girl gets marked and everyone is in the van and they're trying to escape like the mansion and everything, and we know that she's been marked, and it's very ambiguous if what's happening is in her head or in the van or in between those things. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, we didn't need that because the answer wasn't good, in my opinion. It is interesting that they try to show that, but what they showed left more questions than answers. Left more questions than answers. Was it brutal? No, very mild, if you ask me. And the Cenobites, I'm sorry, but save for, I think, 2 reused designs, they were boring as fuck. And I hate that one of them, at least, if not all, are reduced to something like what you'd seen, Until Dawn, like these Wendigos or whatever they were, like that kind of like lanky, speedy creatures that like hunt their targets. Which, what? It was never about that. If anything, there was like a hellhound that obeyed, like, Pinhead in the second one, I think, or the third one, or maybe even like the space one. But that's it. Like, the Cenobites themselves are more like spirits of torment, if that makes sense. That they're not supposed to goofily, like, come after you and like literally like hunt you down. Like, I don't think that's the kind of horror that Hellraiser should be. Also, a lot of people criticize the makeup and the effects on the actual, creatures, on the Cenobites and Pinhead. Yeah, there was something about it that wasn't unsettling, but quite the opposite. I always found that the attire and the scarification of the Cenobites was dark and like grim, and you had to notice the details yourself, like the fact that, for example, Pinhead has like some strips of their flesh, like, torn, because you would focus on the face and the expressions and the acting and the attire, and you wouldn't, like, the grotesque parts were secondary and therefore better, if that makes sense, like more gruesome, a little bit more wet, more can I use visceral as a word? Whereas here in this new one, flesh is just exposed. Like, it's almost as if they're using flesh for garments, but it doesn't work because it looks just lifeless, to the point where it actually resembles clothes so much that it stops being unsettling. You're just like, oh, okay, that's their fashion. That's their fashion sense. Okay, cool. And the fact that the pins on the creatures and on Pinhead, obviously, they have like these pearls. Why? Like, I don't remember that, but like, what kind of like cute fucking gender bend was this? I don't know. I didn't mind the gender bending, obviously. I didn't mind the neutral gender. I didn't mind anything like that. I loved the voice of the actress or actor, or their voice anyway. Pretty fucking solid. And yeah, the person playing Pinhead was like loving it. You can tell, but pearls on the pins, on the head of the pins. Like, what? I mean, and so much gold. Like, the use of gold as a material, or whatever that metal was anyway, was gold in my eyes. Uh, that was nonsense. The whole shenanigans with like the guy just living in the mansion, being tortured, his nerves like getting threaded in that machine, like that was so goofy. That was so fucking goofy. Come on, dude. Or the idea that he designed like a mansion as a cage. Wow, like come on. That's stuff that like you don't need. That's the kind of stuff you don't need, I think. So yeah, all in all, it was I'm sorry to say, it was disappointing. All in all, you know. Um, I don't know. It was. I think that with the technology we have right now, it could have been a lot more grotesque and believable. I was expecting, to see some really disturbing things happening to people that were marked, but no, uh, there wasn't anything. The whole gimmick with like you stabbed someone with a cube and that's how they're marked. I don't know about all that. And then, the protagonist just decides to stab one of the monsters, and the monster accepts its, the Cenobite accepts its fate, I suppose. Like, huh? Huh? I don't fucking know. And then in the same scene, basically the same scene sequence, let's say, that same Cenobite is like pushing the door into the couple trapped behind it, and they're resisting. Or the Chatterer, which, yeah, that's the Chatterer Cenobite anyway, or whatever they made, with that. Just biting. That's it. Like, it bites. Really, it just bites. I mean, okay, I don't know. I think it was trash. I think, trying to have some sort of fight scenes in there was a big mistake, like huge mistake, honestly. It had so much potential. Uh, it wasted it completely. I was expecting to see a dark story. Remember that one particular spin-off, because Hellraiser has like about 10, 12 movies at this point. There is one of them in which there is a journalist. A journalist is our protagonist, right? And she's hungry for a story and all that. And I was thinking maybe they could go like that way with the addiction stuff and all that. With a girl that is addicted, and maybe it becomes like more of an inner journey in the end, a bit like Jacob's Ladder. But it didn't. Like, Jacob's Ladder shits all over this. Like, the original Hellraiser movies, I should say, shit all over that thing. Like, I'm sorry, but they do. I don't know. They're just more interesting stories. If you want to have it in a more like open environment, I feel that again, like the asylum was a better setting for it than like the mansion, and it fit better into the narration, right? And it made sense, kind of. Whereas now it's like, what? It's just a rich guy who is like slightly, what, perverted and lewd. Like, that's it. That's all it takes to summon um Pinhead and Leviathan. Just being a bit lewd, being a bit kinky. Come on. I also didn't like the whole stages or selections. Or were they selections or were they choices? I don't fucking know. It like they implemented this weird unlock system, this battle pass for Hellraiser. Where, when you receive the cube, you also unlock the battle pass, I guess. Where it's like season one, it's like lamentation. Season two is like power or whatever. Season three is like resurrection. Like, and then you go through these. You don't even have to do anything special. You don't even have to kill the victims in a special way to represent what you're doing. Like, So much wasted potential. Yeah, I don't know. You just stab things and then you win. You unlock like power, and then when you reach the fifth level, you unlock an audience with Leviathan. Like what? Okay, that is like dumb as fuck. I don't know. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I didn't fucking like it. I don't know. It doesn't even have to do with preferring the originals or being nostalgic or anything like that. It's just I don't like this interpretation of the concept at all. Maybe it all should have been in the mansion, right? Maybe it all should have been like when it opens and you see Joseph, like the guy who dies first anyway. Um, I was thinking, hey, maybe we'll see the story of this person who is maybe some kind of troubled youth, maybe dealing with their own like sexuality, with their gender. They're lost, but maybe it was an artist or something. Like my head was like, yeah, like all the possibilities. What are they gonna do? And then they do nothing I mean, okay. And then I was like, all right. So who is the actual protagonist? And then she appears. And don't get me wrong. I mean, she did a good job, but they again don't explore the whole addiction thing, the whole except for everyone yelling at them, at her, I suppose. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I'd like to see another attempt, but not like this, I feel. Some things could be kept, right? Some things could be kept, um, like some elements of Pinhead, right, could be kept, right? Though of course I'm biased. I mean, I'm a trans person, so obviously I liked the idea of like this mixture, this kind of like slaness thing where it doesn't matter if it's male or female. It's just like so seductive and reeking with promises, with sweet like false promises. I like that. Okay, sure, I like that. I would have liked it if they took it a step further, and then indeed every person sees Pinhead slightly differently. Maybe more grotesque or less grotesque, or maybe the pearls on the pins maybe could have been how someone conceited and self-important would see it, right? Hello, Corey. How are you doing? We're discussing the new Hellraiser movie, which fucking sucks, by the way. So I would like these elements to make a comeback, maybe, and like more built on, more fleshed out, no pun intended, right? I'd like that. But what they did was like shallow and sadly like hugely wasted when it didn't have to be. Um, so yeah. Also at this point I feel maybe it should be kept in the 90s or the 80s. Simply because as a setting. Simply because I mean Leviathan appearing like over a mansion, like a little bit outside the city or something, driving distance, like that thing, if that thing appears in the sky, people are gonna fucking notice. So it opens questions like what the fuck, like it's best if you make it like in I don't know, in a setting with less communication, less surveillance capability, less awareness of the common public, because a lot of the mystique of Hellraiser comes from the incidents being very isolated and personal to the protagonists, because that's also the point, right? And yeah, I'm aware that like I think in one of them they do kind of fuck up a whole club, and yeah, people see, you know, and they do go out on the streets, and there is like some mayhem there, but I think that's like the most. That should be the limit, the ceiling of it. It shouldn't escalate more than that. And I feel like in this one, just because of the setting, it just makes you feel like it should escalate, and then that, you know, it loses its a lot of its like allure, a lot of its mystique, right? Uh, I don't know. Sadly, Hellraiser is one of those creatures, like, or you know, the Cenobites and the whole thing, the whole concept is one of those concepts as a scary thing where the more you expose it to the public, for example, and to the light, and the more you bring it out, the less scary it is. It is something that has to be experienced only by the protagonists, and only in a like in a personal fashion. Again, just like Jacob's Ladder did it, you know, that kind of thing, I feel works a lot better. And it would have allowed like for better allocation of the budget, instead of like having all that mansion thing, and like the, you know, the exterior scenes, and I don't know. I don't know. Also, I didn't understand, like at one point I couldn't understand like how it functions, how the whole thing functions, because they added some nuisance to it. Yeah, I think that's the word. Like the you know, the protagonist has a little chat on a bridge with, well, with Pinhead, and Pinhead is like, I don't remember the exact dialogue, but you know, it left me thinking, wait a minute, what? She can just throw away the thing, and then that's it, or something like that. I mean, I think it wasn't like the stakes weren't properly conveyed. I get that she was meant to be like the stupidity of the little stinging thingy, sorry, where you know, you, as you're playing with the box, it pierces your flesh, and that's it, your blood, like, you know, you're marked, like the cube fucking knows you, then, you know, it homes in on you after that, like the Cenobites fucking home in on you, because of your blood and all that being in the cube, and the fucking thing just missing instead of piercing her hand, for example, was, and that's enough for it to you know, that's enough of a loop, of a gray area in the rules um, where you can evade it that way. So, for example, if you use like some robotic arms to just do it, then who the fuck is marked? And what do you care? Because from that point on, it was more like, oh, you have to do it or someone else will pay. Um, but that talk of the bridge, maybe I need to watch it again, like that scene. That talk of the bridge seems to imply slightly that, you know, the protagonist just could just walk away from it, like completely. I mean, she's literally about to throw away the cube, right? The thing. She's about to throw it in the water below the bridge, in the river. And you know, you know, Pinhead appears and goes like, "Oh no, you don't want to do that because, yeah, because what? Because fucking what? Because the protagonist seems sane enough, right? Sane enough. She clearly seems very sane, or sane enough to be able to understand that, like, okay, this is way too fucked up. I'm not gonna trade my friends to be able to see my brother again. So why did she get like hooked into it again? If it was no pun intended, if it was more like maybe she was under the influence at the time, and that's part of her inner struggle, or something that shows us that, yeah, don't do drugs, you know, that maybe I could have forgiven it. But no, she was sober, and she was like, you know, she was 10 out of 10, she was there mentally, you know, so why would she not throw it away? And the whole thing with the barb, or whatever you want to call that, like with a blade that didn't actually pierce her flesh, like it missed somehow. I mean, didn't that box used to chain people, and that's it, like that's how it begins? I don't remember it, you know, stabbing people, and you being able to, you know, to dodge that if your dexterity is high enough. Like, I don't remember that shit, honestly. Not implying that she dodged it, like she literally saw it and, kind of reacted, but she literally just dropped it or something because she got startled and, it left her hands before the thing could stab her. Isn't that like a point where normally there would be chains out of the box, like, ripping into her? Because I think what matters isn't like you getting stabbed by the thing, it's solving the puzzle. Like, the intent is enough, right? Even if it's accidental, as we've seen. But now apparently it's not. It's just like, if you get stabbed, then that's it. Otherwise, these demons are just gonna be there and they're just gonna be, looking at you, I guess. Like, what the fuck? Because I think the initial stakes were her brother accidentally got stabbed, and that's what fucked it. If her brother didn't get stabbed by it, she would have zero stakes. And the moment her brother died, there were zero stakes. Or, you know what? I'll be generous. I'll say maybe there were some stakes because she wanted him back. And she didn't know. Well, after the first fucking murder, after you put one and one together, you fucking know what this thing does. So, throw it away. I don't know. I'm trying to be generous, but I think it was bullshit. The whole gimmick was unnecessary. Like, the story was fine. The story was fine in the beginning, like the first Hellraiser movies. You mess with a box, you get fucked. Maybe you can find someone else. Sure, you can, if you strike a deal that is alluring enough, enticing enough to the Cenobites, if it's enticing enough. Because if they won't, they can take you. That's it. But obviously, that little crew is gonna want to corrupt you, right? So of course they would prefer a deal if it's juicy enough, I suppose. But they can also turn it down. You don't have any power against them. The moment you mess with the box, you're fucked. The moment your intent is to solve it, it solves itself, and you're fucked. That's it. That's what I think it is, right? It wasn't necessary to bring in all these weird battle passes, like those Leviathan battle passes. Okay. And the fact that Leviathan itself can be summoned by the box is so stupid. The demons appearing, right? Yeah. Okay. Sure, but Leviathan? Like, that's literally you summon Leviathan, like, just by that? Like, okay, cool. I don't know, it loses a lot of its mystique, I guess, as I said. So I can see why people bashed it. I wanted to love it. I wanted to absolutely fucking love it. But yeah, the costumes were goofy in the end. Or not serviceable, or not up to par. Even the most ridiculous Cenobite from the previous movies was so much better than all of these things that we saw. So yeah, I don't fucking know. I kind of like the idea of that wheezing thing, like the wheezing Cenobite. I kind of liked that. There was something unsettling about its breathing, and you were like, holy shit! Like, what is this form? What has exactly happened to it? What happened to the person? Were they like a musician of some sort? Like, were they, because they seem merged with some kind of pipe organ, right? And that was an interesting idea. That was the most interesting idea of all of them. And even that is just that is exactly the one that is reduced to just a jump scare monster, like something that goes like slow towards you and then just rips out its limbs and lunges at you, and that's it. Wow, like, holy shit! I could think of something better while taking a shit. I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck is that? So yeah, but its original form was interesting. I don't know why. I'm not sure why they couldn't make a wheezing Cenobite kind of thing from the from the lady in the hospital, you know, in the recovery or caring house, I don't know how you call them, where, you know, she had, I think, lung cancer or something. It's not directly mentioned, but her, per her own words, per her own account, her lungs were rotting from the inside. So why not have the Cenobites take her and convert her into that wizard thing, and then we do have a story. We do have, like, you know, she's connected maybe with a breathing device, and it's all like fucking fused, like the flesh and the machine, and some shit like that. You know, that would have been so much better instead of, I don't know. I think they need to retry, and to retry fast, and to scrap that whole story and the rules and the extra stuff. I think it needs to go. I think it was stupid. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I don't know. It was stupid, honestly, and not in the least scary. And you know what? I've been abstaining from, you know, gruesome movies and from gore for quite a while. Not because I want to, but it just happened. I just, you know, at one point you move on, like, you know, Saw movies and all that. I mean, you watch that and you're like, whatever, you know, I don't need that to have fun, whatever, you know. And I was ready to you know, to be disturbed a little bit. I was ready to be kind of like you know, I wanted it to be unsettling a little bit, you know, or a little bit gory. I mean, if you watch House of Usher on Netflix, it manages that like so much better. It even has an actual club scene, and I thought it was such a good reference. And in general, the whole thing I felt did have some, you know, some very real inspiration from the concept of Hellraiser, honestly. I mean, along with the obvious fucking, you know, stories it's based on, I suppose. But they you know, they peppered it with a lot of Hellraiser stuff, and they do the scenes much better that way. I don't know. And it's a Netflix series. I mean, come on. Come the fuck on, dude. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Also, House of Usher, I found it very interesting. I found it very interesting. I think you should watch it. I liked it. I was hooked. Not some kind of, you know, not some kind of absolute masterpiece, but it had some good lines, it had some good dialogues, it had some good scenes. The mystery is good. The plot twist keeps you. It's short, it's not excessive. It's short. Good gore. When, you know, very well used gore and well used jump scares. I liked it. What else did I watch since we're talking about that? Oh, Blue Eye Samurai. Yeah, motherfucker. I need season 2 of that. I fucking need season 2 of that. The most basic concept ever. Like, literally a swordsman seeking revenge. Like, the most basic concept. And they do amazing things with it. I loved it. I really loved it. There were a few parts, but just a few, where I was like, could have been better. But all in all, I absolutely loved it. I loved where it. I love where it leaves you. I love the cliffhanger for season 2. I think the concept is extremely interesting of season 2. Yeah, Blue Eye Samurai. That is a good show. I liked it. I really liked it, and there is in particular like one episode or two which were really fucking amazing. It went hard. It went hard. Like there were two episodes that went really fucking hard, and I was like, dude, this is pizza worthy. This is worth like getting a pizza and sitting there and watching it. Like it was fucking amazing. I really loved it. It's a very good show. And this is coming from someone who is extremely tired of the tropes of, you know, the lone swordsman and samurai and glorifying Japan and all that. You know, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of anime. And yet this one, I was like, it's such a fucking good story. I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, I recommend watching Blue Eye Samurai for sure. It pays off in the end. I honestly just keep watching. It pays off. Really, it pays off. The only weak parts, spoilers. You can mute for the next few minutes, I guess. So you've been warned. Spoilers. The invasion at the castle. I expected more. I wanted more. I wanted more. The scene in the castle again. The scene where, you know, the samurai barges in and there's a fight. I expect that to be better. The fight versus the main bad guy, I expected that to be better. But again, you know, it's because they need to capture him for information. So I think that's why. But I expected him to put more of a resistance. The fight with that weird mercenary leader, I wanted it to be a little bit more than a glorified slash. It was just a glorified slash. I guess you have to have one of those because it's like it's a samurai anime thing, okay? I guess you have to have one of those. You have to have a one shot, like an iconic, like, you know, dash and slash one shot. You have to have one of those, I guess. Okay, fine, I give it that pass. And then the fight in the castle. In the bad guy's castle though, with a big guy with a club, I felt that had such huge potential, and I wanted more, but I wanted more because it was extremely good, and every other fight scene was oof, so fucking good. And then there is like that delicious scene. Where, you know, the swordsman is holding the door and then everyone just you know I won't. Okay, I've said spoilers. He turns around and there's like a throng of like henchmen, and the henchman he's trying to hold in the house burst out, and then she remembers like this background story, and then there is like such an amazing scene there. Wow, like when she fucking assembles her her bladed staff, it's like, oof, holy shit, I came a little, like for real. I fucking had an orgasm both times I watched it. So yeah, I don't fucking know. I loved, spoilers over by the way. I loved how the character develops, how or you know what? I love how the character is already developed, but we don't have a clue about it. Like you watch him, and you think that you're watching like such a typical protagonist, right? Like some kind of typical anti-hero loner kind of person, and no, it's such a tortured soul. It's such a good study on like a certain human conditions, right? I loved it. I want to see where that's going, and how that's gonna develop. Like so interesting, honestly, and it made me cry. I cried a couple of scenes as well, uh, and I loved like they do the archetype of the old wise man so good. Like that is amazing. So yeah, I don't know, I loved it. And oh, the episode with the theater, right, with the puppet theater. Oh my god, that was so good. That was so, the whole episode was like 10 out of 10, like guaranteed 10 out of 10. So I loved it. I don't know, you should watch it and then tell me what you thought, for real. But watch all of it. And I don't say that, you know, I don't really say that often. It's really worth it. It really builds up. Like for real, it's gonna surprise you. I think. I think it's gonna surprise you. So that's that. What else did I watch recently? Let me think. What the fuck did I watch recently? Oh God. I watched other stuff, but I can't remember it, honestly. Let's see. Oh my God. Give me a second. I'll be right back. And Ahsoka, dude, like Star Wars. Okay, I have to talk about that. Just a sec. What's there? Ah, here I am. So Ahsoka, right? Oh my God, what a dad. I mean, look, progressively these Star Wars shows, progressively, it's not even, look, I don't get, I don't get franchise fatigue. Okay, it's very difficult to tire me to a point where I'll say, oh my God, that's franchise fatigue. Like I can't watch any more Star Wars. No, I don't get that. Like I don't get too tired. Sometimes I do. Like for example, the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff. I'm so fucking bored of that shit, honestly. So it really depends. It can get me, but usually it doesn't. When it does, it's really bad. It's to the point where I can't fucking give a shit, right? I burn out completely. It's not even fatigue. I just completely burn out. So on the Marvel stuff, I completely burned out on. But Star Wars, no, I haven't. I don't feel like I have fatigue. I thought I had, but I went into Ahsoka expecting something really cool, having watched the Clone Wars. Not all of it, not all of the Clone Wars series, by the way. But I was expecting something really cool. I was like, oh yeah, Ahsoka must be an interesting character to explore. And it's like it's so boring. Like the bad guy, or one of the bad guys anyway, Balin or Lord Balin or whatever it's called. He's called. Sorry. Um, cool. It should have been about that guy. For real, it should have been about that guy more than it should have been about Ahsoka. I'm not even kidding. Like that guy is so interesting. I love his look, his really medieval look, and his medieval like stance, and the way that he fought and all that was pretty good. I think they're wanking Ahsoka so hard. I hated to fucking see how hard they were wanking Ahsoka. Like Jesus, I remember a scene from the Clone Wars, I think, where she actually meets and fights Vader, and correct me if I'm wrong, she gets completely butt fucked. Like she can't do shit against Vader, as it should be. Like I remember that she has to escape. Like she has to run. Like you can feel it. Like she has to get the fuck out of there. So that's what I remembered at least, and I'm not gonna correct myself on my own. You can feel free to correct me if you're some kind of like expert on the matter. But like, holy shit! Why is she so fucking good at this? Like why is he so fucking powerful? I don't fucking get it. She's a monster. And anyway, so I feel like Balin, he got plotted. He got plotted, I think. Like in the duels with Ahsoka, he got plotted for sure. There are severe inconsistencies in the combat scenes anyway, so you can't really tell anyway. Like sometimes a kick will be so devastating that it will down a Jedi. Other times, and it's tiring to see that like gap in power that is inconsistent. When the plot demands it, like a kick to the chest, like disables, Belen or whatever his name is, or for example, one fucking downward thrust from Balen, like completely obliterates Ahsoka, like sends her flying off a cliff or something. Like, what? Are these people even trained or something? Like, what's going on? And why do they clash with their swords so often? Like, look, it's been a meme for so long that at this point I'm not getting fatigue from the franchise. I'm getting fatigue from like, can we decide on what a lightsaber can and can't do, and how you should fight with a lightsaber? Because like it's such an interesting concept. It could make me love a Star Wars series. It could make me love a Star Wars series. But when you present it as some kind of moronic like sword duel, it just doesn't work. Turn the thing on and off. Try to pierce someone with the thing. I mean, Ahsoka actually does that. She activates the thing next to someone's head and it pierces through, and that's like, yeah, that's how you use the thing. It's that simple. Why do you clash with someone's sword? Just turn your sword off, let them go through, and then activate it immediately, and you chop them up. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? That thing shouldn't even be turned on to begin with. It should be off. You should only be activating when you're, you know, ready to strike. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even know. I don't even fucking know what to tell you. And the Force, they need to decide what the Force can and can't do. You need to decide what the Force can and can't do. And you know what? People should, you know, they should actually limit who is Force sensitive at this point, because the way they've done it right now is like everyone can be Force sensitive the moment the plot demands it. It's so stupid. I'm not even a fan of Star Wars. I just know these things because, like, you know, you just watch like a few series and you just, you know, you develop those complaints, those pet peeves, right? You don't need to go in depth about it, right? So I think they need to decide that, and it would be so interesting to see, for example, different crystals in the sword, giving it different attributes, so you can have interesting matches. Maybe the Force manifesting differently in each person, like someone is better at the lightning thing, someone is better at the choking thing, someone is better at lifting things, you know, someone fights with like the swords not in their hands, just controlling them like that, but can't use any other, you know, while channeling that, can't even use the Force at all. Maybe someone else heals all the time, maybe someone else has like a bubble around them, like something, and then give them some kind of superpowers, and then kind of like a scaling system, and, you know, some kind of like rock, paper, scissors stuff. Because otherwise it's just nonsense, it's just space magic. Like literally just space magic. It just does whatever the fuck it wants. And the swords too. I don't know, I feel there is so much potential in Star Wars, which is crazy. It's a crazy thing to say. Consider how milked the franchise is. But they're milking the wrong parts the wrong way. You gotta go for the cock. And you gotta fucking grab that thing and fucking dual wield it and like jerk it hard. And you know, make it a good one. And that's what you need to do with this franchise. Because right now they're just like, they're bored. Like now they're like, you know, kind of like not really touching it, going like, maybe not today. They're going like that about it. That's how I feel. They're pretty bored. I don't know. So it's a snooze fest. Like, what the fuck? And the games as well. Like, come on, dude. It's so tiring. I don't know. It needs to start. They need to start making Star Wars stuff for people with over 60 IQ, over 40 IQ, I think. I don't know. Also, they need to move away from the tropes. I feel like all the alien races and all the robots and stuff should be more unique and less featured, but far more unique, I feel. Because it's now saturated with all those, you know, aliens and races and all that, which we don't even learn anything about, and there's so many, and they're constantly trying to introduce more and more interesting, you know, shapes and forms and colors, where it becomes like a complete fucking, and I'm sorry for using the word, but a complete fucking freak show, where, but in the bad sense, like, you don't even, like, what are all those aliens? Like, where do they come from? Like, it's never explored. We don't get any fucking background. Unless you search the wiki or start googling that shit, it's like irrelevant. It could have been a fucking elephant with 6 cock tentacles, just, you know, just there. At which point, whatever. At which point it becomes like a surreal shit show. And I get the concept of space opera, but the concept of space opera doesn't include like cluttering your bullshit with bullshit. Okay? The Fifth Element is space opera. It even has space opera, by the way. Star Trek is space opera, in my opinion. And every time they meet a race in Star Trek, they go like, oh, you know, they have a whole fucking storyline for it. Like, oh, they meet these people and they're like, what are you? And we're the Federation. And you know, that kind of. In Star Wars, it's like, oh, yeah, you see some kind of jellyfish with, like, I don't know, with testicles for eyes or something. It's Tuesday. And they're also Jedi. And they understand everyone else when they talk. Like, I don't know. I feel Mass Effect, even Mass Effect did it better at this point. That's also space opera, an example of space opera, by the way. So yeah. When Mass Effect Andromeda does it better, you gotta pull back a little, you know, and start jerking off. You gotta get horny about it again, you know? But I will say again, this Balin guy, all right? Star Wars never really. I mean, it can't hook you because you missed. The problem is you missed like the first couple of movies coming out. That's the problem. Like that was, you know, a historical moment almost. I would say for cinema. You missed that shit. They would play that shit on TV, and you can bet your ass every household was in front of that thing, in front of the fucking stupid box, watching, fucking hooked, having pizza for the 100th fucking time, and it didn't matter because it was cool, you know, the concepts. Every time you watched it, you noticed something different, something like, oh, look at, you know, this guy in the background, oh, look at that, what do you think it means, you know, that kind of thing, you know? Trying to determine what the force is, trying to establish rule sets, trying to, you know, to make it work was fun. And we gotta move away from Vader. I'm sorry, but we need the concept of Vader needs a very good send-off, which Kylo Ren wasn't. I'm sorry. Vader and the Emperor and all that shit need a good send-off in the first 10 minutes of a movie, and then we move on, and they give us a good wank, and you know, it's nice, and it has meaning, and it's clever. That's what we need. And we stop like measuring every single Jedi against Vader and every single Sith against Vader. Like, just forget it. Just fucking forget it. Vader is an amazing character. Let it be. Okay, let it be. Give the whole concept a send-off. And that's it. Move on. They should have done that a long time ago. Vader doesn't need to appear in every fucking storyline. Doesn't need to be significant for every storyline. Come on, you have a whole fucking galaxy and it always somehow revolves around Obi-Wan and Anakin and Luke and like fuck you and just start jerking me off because I'm bored. For real. So yeah, I don't know. I went into Ahsoka, you know, ready to see something cool. And they just don't, and it's just, you know, lightsaber clashes and they're pushing each other. Like half the fight is pushing each other. You almost want to say like, now kiss is what I was, you know, thinking, but not because there is a romance or something or a, you know, erotic tension, but because it's boring and just not amusing. The way they fight is just not amusing. And especially in Ahsoka, I feel like they couldn't have utilized stormtroopers. And I'm sorry, I know they're probably not stormtroopers, or maybe they had another name, I didn't give a fuck. They were stormtroopers in my eyes. They utilize them in the worst way possible. They're stupider than ever. If you thought they couldn't hit a bar in the originals, like, don't watch this shit. It's like, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. There is even a scene I had to watch twice because There is a guy who is just walking randomly towards a random direction and gets fucking destroyed by a sock. Like, I'm not gonna explain it, but like it's a, you'll know what moment I'm talking about. You'll know it when I say it. And Bailey's apprentice, that blonde girl. Holy shit! I thought she was gonna be so interesting. Instead, she's just the emptiest fucking caricature I've ever seen of a character, and I'm really sorry because they do have like a sort of meaningful dialogue with Balin where he actually seems to care about his Sith apprentice, I guess, or semi-Sith. I don't fucking know anymore what these guys are. And I thought, hey, what if there was a show where we just follow Balin and his apprentice, that girl, and it's super interesting, and they discuss the whole, morality of things and all that, but make the fucking fight scenes cool, please. And even if they do that, it shouldn't be a prequel of Ahsoka. It should be what happens to these guys after. And just take Ahsoka and like do whatever the fuck you want with that. Like nobody fucking cares about that. And it would have been so nice to see that, two. I guess they're Sith. What the fuck are they? I don't even know what they consider themselves. Like Balin and that girl. I have no fucking idea. I wasn't paying attention. That's how boring it was. But why not show their journey and their like relation and their struggle, I guess. I don't fucking know. Oh well. Yeah, it's a whole fucking galaxy and everything about it revolves in like 1/10 of it. It's stupid. It's gotten stupid, I don't know. So what else did I watch? Let's see. Hmm. There are other series I watched, but I just don't. I can't hold them in my mind right now, or conjure them from memory. Hmm. Shit. No, yeah, these were the main ones I wanted to talk about as far as movies go, or series and movies, let's say. And anyway, this is meant to be a short stream. It's not meant to be something big. I just wanted to get some things off my chest. But right now, I'm so focused on what I've watched and all that I can't I can't really focus on anything else. Even though I do know that I want to tell you stuff. Right now, I'm like, wait a minute, what else do I want to talk about in regards to movies and such? And I'm just stuck in that limbo of thought, of non-thinking. Nah, whatever. Oh, the craziest thing happened to me yesterday, by the way. Uh, so it was late, and I was on my own, and I was like, okay, I can't sleep. I might just let me just go to a club in Final Fantasy, right? Let me just go to a club in Final Fantasy. Let me just do that, get some drink, and chill, just fire up my Spotify list and just sit there and use the people dancing there or whatever as some form of like advanced screensaver, and just like stay there and watch what people say and what people do. And so I went there. I just I picked one randomly. I just don't care anymore. I just pick random ones and go. Um, and so there I was. Um, I was on quote unquote stage dancing. Um, I noticed a person, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I kind of like talk to that person, whatever? Like, just, you know, see what happens, right? And so we talk. And within moments, I mean, a flirt kind of starts, and we're like, okay, yeah, that this kind of works, I guess. It's warm, I suppose. And it goes on for like 10-20 minutes or whatever. And at that point, it's like, or they, I should say, they're like, so you got a place? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, wanna go? And I'm like, okay, fuck it. And then we go. And literally, I was, okay, so I don't know exactly what I was expecting. And I'm not gonna lie, because like, you know, I'm not gonna lie about that shit, right? If I wanna go for it, I'll go for it. That's it. But I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. The moment we step foot in my apartment, she literally, or I'll say she because of the character, sorry, because as I'm remembering it, I'm remembering the character was female, therefore my brain goes like, oh, she, you know, just for ease of use, honestly. Also because in Greek, it's very difficult to use they, them. It's kind of like, it's difficult to use it. Trust me, if you're Greek, you know. If you're Greek, we just don't have they, them in that sense, like as a gender, right? We also can't use it, which rarely some people do want to use. I can't use it because it's like very demeaning and very, very rude in Greek. So we can't use it. We can't use they, them as a gender. It's extremely uncomfortable. Anyway, so she, okay, and no offense. And so she goes like, she strips completely, and I'm like, what? Like, okay. And at that point, she literally starts barraging me with. All right, if that person is watching now, I want you to know it. Listen, I laughed in a good way. I found it amusing in a good way. I gotta share it. I'm sorry. It's amusing enough that I have to share it. I'm really sorry, but also not sorry. But like I have to share it. Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to sorry to say these things. So where was I? Like right. So she starts like taking everything off, like literally throwing it everywhere. That's how I was picturing it. Just literally fucking unzipping it, like taking everything off. And I was like, okay. And she starts barraging me with like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna say it. The most basic and, god fucking damn it, illiterate shit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but it's true though. I'm sorry. I have to laugh about it a little bit. And so, you know, and it goes to a point where it's like, oh god. And I'm just continuing because if you know me, you know that I don't like, you know, I don't like displeasing people in the sense of like, I don't want them, I don't want to be rude. When I feel the other person is like in their lane and they're like laser focused. It's something I gotta stop doing. I'm working on it, okay? But in this one situation, I also didn't want to actually interrupt because it was a gem. It was a fucking gem. It made me, it amused me, okay? It amused me. I will admit I will admit, I let it on in the sense that I wanted to see what else the person is gonna type. Okay, I just wanted to see. I'm so sorry. it was one of those train wrecks that not only is it slow motion, not only are you hooked and watching it, knowing it's an absolute fucking disaster, you're also laughing so much about it that you're actually kind of wishing it continues. I'm sorry. I have to be honest. I'm sorry. And I mean, to their defense, I later asked them because I was so curious. I was like, hey, is this like, have you done this before? You know, I tried to be subtle. I tried to be sublime. I was like, hey, you know, is this like something you do then? You know, is this like something that happens often to you? I'm sorry. I'll try to stop like fucking, you know, cackling. So I get harassed with some of the most trite shit I've ever seen. It's like, God, I'm gonna say it. I don't care. It culminated in a moment where I learned like a new term, and that term is gonna stay with me. Okay, and that is. I'm gonna be using that. Okay, that is pure gold. Precious baby making calm is something that will forever stay in my heart and mind. Precious baby making calm. That is that is your recipe. That is your ingredient for success in this department. Listen, that was poetic. That was poetry. I am giving it a solid 10 out of 10. And BMC is going to be something I'll be using. That's it. Baby making calm. Precious. It's like it's orange. It's an artifact, okay? So you know, high rarities like fucking precious baby making. And anyway, so yeah, it was like, yeah, that implies other kinds of calm, and also it implies like the rarity, like the item level of that, like is implied heavily with the precious there in front. And also, but I have to say, I fucking hate. You know what? I fucking hate this thing where the other person is like completely insensitive to like what you are and how you want to go about it and how you are and your preferences and like what you want, like complete just nah. It was a barrage. Like I didn't even get enough time to like even imply that, hey, that's not me though, you know, that's not how this goes. I don't know. It was surreal. It was surreal, and it was a good closing to my night. It entertained me. It entertained me a lot. I think I was entertained. I was purely entertained. I think in that department it did a good job. For real, I was smiling. Okay, I was smiling. I was laughing all the time. Um, it was precious to you to borrow that word. But yeah, God, that should teach me. That should fucking teach me um, to allow things to escalate with strangers. That should fucking teach me. But still, so amusing, so much fun. Like no joke, I was laughing all the time. I was happy. I was happy. And it wasn't the RP. It was the way that the person carried themselves throughout it on their own, only one speed. There's no other speed, only one speed. That's it. They control everything. They do whatever the fuck they want. And it's all about the precious baby making come for them. And that's it. They wanted it. They didn't care if I can give it or if I want to. They took it. It's like a machine. Like you turn it on and then it goes. And there's no stopping it. And that's it. And you just sit back and enjoy like the literature. What the fuck? Oh god. I wish I could narrate. I would love to narrate some of that shit for you. I think I have it. I think I kept a log of it. I think I copy pasted some shit because it was like amazing. So you know, but you know what? But you know what? No, for real. I like. I don't know. I don't know. Wow, I'm just impressed. I don't know what else to say. I guess I guess that's what has happened to that scene, I suppose. That's the levels you can expect, I suppose. I don't know. Ah, God. I don't know what else to tell you. But that was that was my Friday night. That was my Friday night. Oh my God. And the thing is, I kind of like would have preferred if that didn't happen. As in, I was kind of vibing there at that club. I was kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just there, you know, smoking a little bit, having my soft drink. I don't know. Oh God, that should teach me. That was enlightening. Anyway, that's the Friday night incident, and now BMC is here to stay. Anyway, God. But no, like when it comes to romance, okay, I'll say this much. I'm getting a little bit I'm getting a little bit fatigued. I'm not gonna lie. But not because I've lost like my will to flirt or you know my spark or my flame if you want. But it's mostly like the people that I come across, or not even come across, but like the people with whom I end up like, you know, exploring such possibilities, right? I've got a sense of fatigue from this. Like it's I'm gonna say it. I'll open up about it. I'm tired of this fucking starter pack. Okay, and don't get me wrong, there are good examples of that starter pack, but there are far more atrocious examples, and some of them are like fucking terminal cases. That's the only way I can describe it. And what I'm referring to is that, like, at this point, a crushing majority of the people I've interacted with have been this, and I think I've talked about it before. They're this, again, it's like this weird starter pack that seems to be so prevalent, where it's like near their 20s, you know, somewhere there, they declare trans, but they've no idea what that normally entails. They declare they have ADHD and other such things, which are like completely self-diagnosed bullshit. Not that ADHD is bullshit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying what they think is ADHD is bullshit. It's just like, you know, part of being the maturity level that they are. That's all, and their fucking intellectual level as well, apparently, in many cases. And it's tiring me. It's honestly tiring me. Like, I've come to realize that when they say ADHD, they mean that basically they might just start ignoring you. They might, generally, that they're just fucking insane. All right, that's what they mean. And insane, like, not even, you know, it's not a medical term. It's like they're just gonna like YOLO this shit. That's what they mean. A lot of them will say, "Oh, I'm also autistic." Like, no, you're not. You're fucking not. You're just trying to self-diagnose in an attempt to excuse your shit behavior, your fucked up habits, all right, and your fucking disastrous attitude towards life and society and people around you. So that's all they're doing, for real, and it's so fucking annoying. And when they say they're trans, all they mean is like, yeah, whatever. I just want to come. I'm 80% come. I want to come some more. You're gonna help me. Doesn't matter what you are, and it doesn't. And it shouldn't matter what I am. So suck it. This is happening, and you go like, what? And I'm so tired of it, and it's like, it's such an archetype, not even an archetype, stereotype, a caricature at this point. Okay, I'm sorry. But like, and I'm sorry to all the legit like League of Legends players, and I'm sorry to all the legitimate like fucking trans people, and I'm sorry, but like these people just, they're the same thing. Like, oh, what are you doing? I'm playing League. What else are you doing? I'm also a VR fucking a VR chat lap dancer. Okay, I'm also autistic and also ADHD, and I'm a trans person, and I'm in my 20s, and yeah, like I don't fucking know. I don't know, seriously. And when you put it to the test, like all of it crumbles, and all it is, behind that is just like some fucking frustrated people who just have zero direction, zero self fucking awareness. It's so fucking weird. And I can't, like, I can't. That is what is causing fatigue to me. When it comes to socializing, that is what is causing fatigue to me. And the thing is, they go around and hurt each other emotionally and mentally. They fucking damage each other, okay? And then if you're, if you happen to stand out from all of that, and they kind of like dig you, you're fucked, because they're gonna take all of that pain, all of that fucking distress, all of that fucking whatever it is, and you're gonna be like their punching bag. And good luck to you, fucking moron. Okay? Good luck to you. And it's. I've also started noticing like all the little keywords, all the little like behaviors, all the patterns. It's like it's so predictable, to quote fucking Geese Howard. It's so predictable. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Like words like trust and love and a lot of other things and other concepts get thrown around frivolously and whimsically. And you're like, no, come on. And yet, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's sad on one hand, it's confusing on the other hand. Um, I don't know. And who am I to question someone's statements, like, their validity or not? But I don't even have to question it. It just, it just is that way. I'm not even like, whatever. I don't fucking know. I'm tired. I feel there is so much misappropriation of certain terms and certain conditions and when I say conditions, you can think of like circumstances, okay, not conditions, as in none of these are like, I'm not saying that being trans is a condition. You get what I'm saying, all right? I'm also a trans person, and I'm not an apologist, but I just have to call some things out as I see them, and I have to sometimes, I don't know. I just have to share my unfiltered opinion sometimes, I guess, and that's it. This is my unfiltered opinion. Is that like all this is so much fucking dog shit that it's amazing. I don't know. Sorry, I have to take a drink. And yeah, that's what's been bugging me lately. And well, on a more carnal level, I guess, when these interactions, warm up, let's say, and it reaches the point where the other person like feels comfortable enough to actually chat about their sexuality, for example, and their preferences, it, instead of it becoming simpler, it becomes more boring, honestly, but complicated, but boring, not simple. Um, because they all just, for some reason, like this starter pack, they'll declare sweets, they'll declare this, they'll declare that, and all they are is just like immediately get pushed into the female role, like for no reason other than usually not wanting to have much to type or much to say, and wanting to actually receive your attention. Because in their mind, assuming the role of a female, let's say, means that you're going to be taking care of them, looking after them, and all that. You know, that's the feeling they want to evoke in you, because that's what they need. And I don't fault them, because there's lots of, you know, hurt out there. And as I said, they even hurt each other through all of this shit. And then, you know, I've noticed that, yeah, that's how it goes. And so, you know, combine all of that, and you have this starter pack, this starter kit of a typical MMO player at this point. And if you think this is like limited to people in their 20s, it isn't. It goes all the way up to 30. You walked into me discussing the intricacies of socializing in MMOs, Adam. That's what you've walked into. Oh, and into me getting some tea as well. And then when I have my tea, you're gonna have your camera, okay? So give me a few moments, and I'll be back, okay? But like, yeah, we went from discussing Ahsoka and Blue Eye Samurai and the new Hellraiser movie and some other shit like that into the aspect of socializing in Final Fantasy, and from there it went into the aspect of you know, the MMO crowds, and somewhere in between there was like a personal experience of mine, which ended with something precious, an actual treasure of a sentence that was sent my way, and that is precious baby making cum. And I wanted you to hear this. You don't even need to hear the story. You just need to know that BMC is now a thing. That's all you need to know. And I'll be using that. And with that, I'm gonna make tea. Not with a BMC. I meant, having said that, I'll now go and make some tea, which will not contain precious baby making cum. I'll be right back. I'm back. Tea is still hot, and I'll need to be real quick again in a bit, just to leave the spoon in my sink and throw away the tea bag. So, you feel like this subject has come up before. It has. It has, and it will. See, some things I just need to be getting off my chest when I feel like I'm overwhelmed by them, okay? So, inadvertently, certain topics will be coming back. Like there's no other, there's no other way to go about it, I'm afraid. Don't know what else to tell you about that. But yeah, you can I guess, you can make that observation. It's not baseless. I've brought it up before, and it's a matter that is, you know how you play an MMO sometimes, and or a game, and you don't exactly like, you like it, right? You like it, but then certain elements of it are just like too much for you, and so you have like, you want to endure them because you want like the you want to play the game, and then they build up, and they build, and you have to talk about it, like you have to whine about it, you have to share it, right? So this is like, imagine if now, like, instead of an MMO, it's like you like socializing, right? Like me, you enjoy flirting and all that, you know how I am. It's natural if the environment in which I'm doing that is presenting like a non-negotiable, ever-growing obstacle. It's natural that every now and then I'll want to fucking talk about it, because yeah, I do like the good side of all of that. Okay, and I do like the occasional like cool acquaintance and all that, but like when it all goes south for far too long, I gotta fucking unload. I have to unwind. So this is like, sometimes I just have to. That's it. And this is like my stream, so where else am I gonna do it? I can do it in the confine of my four walls, but honestly, you're good therapists. So I'm sorry, but you're shit out of luck, because you're good therapists, and I love this. So yeah, I will talk about it and whine about it. You're fine with it? I know. I'm also fine with it. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's a whole thing, isn't it? Oh god. I want to open up about something else. It's adjacent, but not quite. It can have some relevance with it, but not really. And it's this overwhelming sensation, and I was talking about it. I don't know if that is like with Neri, sorry. I don't know if this is like part of actually having some depression on some level, which I do, like diagnosed. There is this feeling sometimes where, and it is actually quite fucking disastrous, let me tell you. It's hard to control. It is something that, quite honestly, is one of the very few things that I think you shouldn't discuss. Wait, you shouldn't discuss with a partner. All right, so that's like a thin line there. Not with a partner that actually might trigger it, though. There is that little, those little letters there. Because it's going to inadvertently create some kind of gap between you that's never gonna heal, right? That gap is never gonna fucking heal. So here's the thing. As I said, I don't know if depression does that, but there come moments when you're sitting there and you become aware through coincidence, usually just luck, honestly, of people who, for some reason, in them, you see. I'll be dramatic here, just because it is dramatic. So just get ready for that. You see in them all the success that you could have, but you don't have. You see in them like the youth you have perhaps wasted. You see in them the opportunities. You see the choices and the appearance, even down to the physical aspect that you will never have. And it's not jealousy. It is like such an infinite fucking sadness that you can't have those things. Or at least this is what your brain is telling you. All right? Because it is a completely... it's not sensible to be thinking that way. But you know, your brain is not gonna do sensible, especially in moments like that, because we're talking about emotions and thoughts, right? Which are probably generated or originate from whichever fucked up part they originate. And you kind of like, you know, you sit there and you're like, oh my god, I'll never look that pretty, or you're thinking like, oh, that ship sailed for me, or you know, things like that. You get it? You're like, oh, I can never do that. I'll never have this many X or Y. I'll never, you know, that kind of thing. Sometimes I get it. So sometimes I even get it with streaming, right? Sometimes I sit there and I'm like, oh my god, I am unable to like reach those levels. I am unable to just, you know, win over people just by existing. And when it comes to actually gender and all that, it can also be worse. It can add to it. You can be like, oh, fuck, you know, why was I not born female? You know, that kind of question, which is like such a basic thing to say. It's so fucking stupid. And, you know, I've realized that sometimes people are my trigger for that. And that's why I said, like, imagine having a partner, which, okay, thankfully this has not happened yet to me. If it did, I think it happened to a negligible degree, where I didn't consciously think it, I guess, as far as I know, at least. Or nor did I feel at any point like, you know, kind of affected in my actions by that. So I'll just cumulatively just say it hasn't happened to me with a partner of mine. But like, imagine that happening, you know, getting triggered by a partner of yours and going like, oh my god, you know, I'll not have that. Now, here's the thing. Exactly because of this whole starter kit that I talked about, you sometimes stumble on thoughts and feelings such as, oh, that person's statements are this and that. Oh, this is something that I also desire, but I can't have because I'm not 20 anymore. You know, shit like that. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if it makes sense. And, you know, I've realized that that would be horrible to get that. But what I wanted to share is that, like, yeah, I've been hit by that recently. And that's why I was discussing it, for example, with Neris as well, in a private conversation. And it fucking sucks. I don't know. I really don't know what causes it. I would like to know. In the same sense that, you know how it is when you get like a panic attack or something, and then you know, and then knowing just lessens the impact? Well, with this thing, I don't fucking know. So the impact, every time it happens, which fortunately isn't that often, actually, you know the feeling, right? Yeah, so what the fuck do you think causes that shit? Because I know for a fact it's not jealousy. It's not like, ah, her hair is so good, I can't have her hair. I can have all of that shit, but I don't want it. It's so weird, but if I don't want it, why am I actually just being sad that I don't have it? Like, what the fuck is that feeling, right? Because if it was jealousy, you would be going green. You would be going like, oh, I don't have the money to dye my hair purple. You know, that kind of thing. But it's not that. It's more like a mellow kind of like under completely underground like borrowing thing that kind of like travels in your fucking mind, like from neuron to neuron, and like fucking corrupting them, and you go like, I don't know, you know, and you you feel withered and decrepified and fucking transmogrified, and you go like, but like existentially though, you know. And yeah, that is like so weird. And the thing is, the more like the more out there stuff gets out there. Okay, that's a sentence, and I'm not being ironic. This is actually the thing I intended to say. The bigger the gap that you will perceive between that stuff and you. Does it make sense? For example, there was this trend recently where people would, which is fucking, like, it's disgusting, by the way, where people would imitate, like, you know, cartoon characters and the way they speak and the way their facial expressions and like their eye movement. You know what I mean? And they would do that in shorts on YouTube, and they would get fucking billions of views because of how quote unquote cute that is. And you're like, oh my god, is that a new standard I have to have? And that is what your brain is like registering all the time, is like new standards. And you're worried that you're not going to meet them. And I think that creates that feeling, I think. I don't know. Like basically what I'm saying is that I think this is an advanced version, or like level 2 or 3 or 5 at this point, of the whole Barbie dolls imposing unrealistic standards, kind of. You're not aware of this trend, but you're socially unplugged. I think so. Being socially unplugged, we've reached a point where it's starting to become more of a positive than a negative, just because of, well, you know how social stuff is lately. So it circles around, I guess, to being socially unplugged being actually a positive trait. Oh god. I am relatively also on the outer edges of social stuff. I don't even dare, you know, touch fucking Instagram. I've got, I guess it's not called Twitter anymore. I guess it's called X now. So I've got that, which I don't use ever, almost. And that's it. Like I don't have like I don't watch things on TikTok. I don't, you know. So in that sense, I guess I am a bit unplugged myself. I'm a make one friend and do everything I can to keep them, because meeting people is exhausting. I see. Yes, meeting people is exhausting. Maintaining multiple friendships is exhausting. But at the same time, for me, it kind of like sustains me. Like this is what sustains me. You know what's exhausting? I'm gonna be so brutal now. I'm gonna be brutal. What's exhausting is that you don't see people returning what you're giving. I'm calling out society a little bit. Like, I socialize a lot, and let me tell you, what you're going to get back, if you get back anything, is just a fucking. It's blowing raspberries worthy, as you heard. It's like, let's not even talk about it. And that's for all types of socialization, not necessarily when it comes to like open-ended relations or any kind of other relationship. Even it can be just friends, right? But holy shit, people are so. That's what I was saying earlier. I was focusing more on the fact that like people are so hurt and they hurt each other so much that it's kind of like a self-perpetuating thing, because they then refuse to give you what you're giving. You then, out of knee-jerk reaction, or like perhaps to protect yourself, you also don't want to give them what you normally would, just because you want to keep things fair so that you don't feel sorry for yourself afterwards, especially if they fuck you over, which might also happen on top of all of that. And it all becomes such a fucking tangled mess, like a spaghetti of shit and pain, that yeah, I can see how it's exhausting. And for someone who just thrives on social interaction like myself, and like enjoys things that take two or more, okay, it's so fucking fucked up. I feel like a vampire who's been denied blood, very often, but not in a bad way, because I'm not leeching people's energy or something, or their good mood. But that's the only way that I can describe it. Honestly, it's like I feel a stagnation, or maybe even starvation on that end. And this is like also a lot of like a good percentage of why I at least want to be able to talk about these things. I at least want to be able to talk about what goes wrong, about like bad romances, uh, that kind of thing. Because at least talking about it feels like there is some understanding, both from myself as I, narrate these things, as I, well, not narrate, but as I share these things, and maybe even I'm hoping from you guys, like, I don't know, but not that it's necessary. In fact, if someone would debate me on all of those things that I've said and shared, or will say and share, that's also pretty fucking good for me, because it offers like a new perspective, and at least, if nothing else, someone else has to share some experience of theirs, and we can debate it and we can talk about it and whatnot. It's better than silence, let me tell you that. And it might also maybe teach me something. So yeah, that's the reason. Like, I feel that at least by sharing, I kind of I don't know, get some of it back. Does that make sense? Maybe it doesn't, but yeah, perhaps it does as well. I don't fucking know. My brain is a mysterious place for how fucking open it is. But let me ask you, like, what happens? Like, okay, so you make one friend and then you do everything you can to keep them. All right, so what happens with all the other people around you then? Do you like kind of put walls there, and you're like, okay, now I'm focused on that person, and that's how it's gonna be, and that's it? Like, do you have like this kind of understanding with the people around you? Okay. Yeah, I remember that you've told me that you don't really engage. You don't take the first step. A lot of people don't. Trust me. Which is also that is also something that exhausts me, by the way. And this is not like a stab at you. But yeah, it is like, it does fucking exhaust me, honestly. The fact that I have to start a conversation, that I have to be the one to approach someone, I have to be like 9 out of 10 times. That's how it's gonna be. You know what's strange? It used to be that the pet peeve of like social people, sorry, I'm also having cake so my mouth is stuffed. It used to be that the pet peeve of social people was like, oh, I keep trying, but I keep getting rejected, right? And they would usually say that in regards to flirting more often than not, you know, not really other kinds of like making friends. But now it's funny how it's become more difficult because people will talk to you, they will not reject you, at least if you have, I guess, certain levels of charisma, I suppose, just to be fair. And that's not a low brag, it's just like, you know, obviously if you've done it long enough and if that's how you are, then you probably have some charisma, right? Because that's what you're using. The more you cultivate it, the better you become at it. It's simple as that. I'm not you know, I'm not fucking bragging or low key, you know, whatever, flexing or whatever. But it's tiring because like you won't get rejected, at least not outright. Because you know, even recently I got rejected by someone, you know, just to put that out there. Though the reason why is like so fucking stupid, I'll tell you about it. So so you don't get rejected, but then you now have to dig through whatever fucking starter kit the other person has as a front, like as a window, and you have to get into that thing, smash through, because you just don't have time anymore to find the door. You just have to, you're like, fuck that, let me go through. And like fucking Yujiro. Have you seen the clip with Yujiro walking through glass? That kind of thing. So you fucking walk into there and you go like, all right, let me see. What the fuck are you? Can we match? Can we fucking be anything? Can we be friends? Like, what can we be? Can we be lovers? Can we be like partners? What are you even? You know, what kind of thing are you? You know, are we compatible? And you have, and it makes you also more aggressive because you're tired of this glass wall fucking that they put there, which distorts what is in behind it and reflects some of you back to you. And you're tired of that shit and you just want to get to the point. And that wall is there because like these people are hurt and they react, you know, with that. And when I say these people, I mean people in general, you know, people in general, not these people. So this process of distilling and extracting and understanding, because understanding, Jesus, understanding some people is quite fucking difficult. Especially when they're not trying to understand you back. Because they're not the ones approaching you. Sure, they don't reject you, but they act like, you know, they don't need to do anything. Which might also relate to what I said, because they don't want to have to do anything. They want to feel chased. They want to feel attention. They want to... And this is not like relation advice. I'm not a fucking guru, okay? I'm just sharing with you what I found, what I'm experiencing. That's all. I'm not saying, oh yeah, this is what you should do. This is your strategy. I'm just sharing with you, like, you know, this is what's going on, dude. And so yeah, it's tiring. It's very tiring fucking going in there and trying to understand what's going on. And then you know what's more tiring? That by that point, you have reached the other person because you have to. It's not manipulation. It's just like because you want to be nice and polite in your probing of their asshole, okay, of their mental and emotional asshole, okay. And you're probing because you want to see if you fit, or if they fit. And so to pull back out of that thing, now that's effort. Because believe it or not, like when you're the one who has to actually tell the other person that, hey, this is not gonna work, that takes like, that fucks you up. It's part of like this I had an issue with, for real. Like telling people no, I've told you before, I've shared this before, like telling people no is for me so difficult. Like, yeah, what happened yesterday was surely the cause of much laughter on my end, and like amusement, and then I shared the story here, and that was cute and whatever, and we laughed, and we now know about fucking precious baby making cum, but like I didn't want to be there after like 10 minutes because I was like, this is not what I wanted, you know, but I don't want to hurt the person because I'm the one who probed, right? God fucking damn it. Sometimes I understand it. Like, honestly, like, sometimes I fucking understand it. Sit there. I'm gonna be so fucking raw when I say this. Pretend you're some kind of cute girl. I hate myself for saying this, but like, fuck wording right now, okay? And this is like completely whatever comes to mind right now, okay? Even as a trans woman myself. Pretend you're a pretty girl and let the other person just assume characteristics of the role of a male and just like come after you and seek to give you affection and seek to give you warmth and understanding and let them do the fucking pulling. I get it. I fucking get it. Okay. But it's such bullshit, honestly. And I think a lot of why people immediately put me, which is ironic, okay? A lot of people immediately put me to the male role, like in their mind I'm just male no matter what, is because I give that affection. And I don't do it on purpose. It's just it's how I am. I see someone and I like them or whatnot, and we talk and they're cute. And when I say cute, I mean like, you know, they're nice to me and all that. I'll care. And then that's it. Boom. It's done. And then good luck. Like what the fuck. Yeah, it's tiring. Fuck that. And I say fuck that, but it's not like I can change it. Like to change it, and sorry for the stuffed mouth voice, but to change it, to reverse it and be in the other position. Sorry, I'm gonna start smacking my lips, so I'm just gonna just give me a moment to swallow. That's what she said. So, to reverse that, right, I would have to put myself in a position where I am now, you know, channeling my inner fucking, for lack of a better word, like cute cat girl. And this is without reference to Final Fantasy, but also a reference to Final Fantasy because everyone is a cute cat girl that wants your attention. So, you know, and close parenthesis. So I could do that. It would be so easy for me to put up that fucking theater. Okay, it's so easy because it wouldn't even be theater because like a lot of me is about like I need affection as well, you know, I need that shit. Okay? Everyone does. And then, you know, just present myself in a certain way, talk in a certain way, channel that shit, and then let people go after me. But the reason I can't do it is because it's just not me enough. Like I have the need, but I don't have that kind of like facade, which I call it a facade, but like probably I'd say that kind of, what should I call it? So that it's not offensive. Alright, to the few people that actually genuinely are like that, genuinely channel that because they need to channel it, you know, they're feeling it. So let's see. That aspect of myself, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's the best way that's the best I can do, like aspect of one's self, I guess. But I don't know. No, I have the need, but I don't have that aspect. So that's yeah, Adam, it's tiring. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is it's tiring to be me. Damn, I'm so fucking good, it's tiring. But no, for real. For real though. Yeah, it's kind of tiring. Yeah, it wears me down. I'm not gonna lie. And so talking about it, this is what I wanted to say. Like talking about it's my fucking way to recharge that. Like that's my only way out. Like I can't do much else. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna like wear a sign that says, "Hey, show me some affection"? You can't. You can't do that shit. I mean, you can, but like, if you want your dignity intact, you better not do that shit. you know. And by God, some people just don't even have a shred of dignity. Hey, it's Saturday. Let me be brutal, okay? Let's have some real fucking talk, okay? Anyway, yeah. What can I tell you? I'm gonna throw away this fucking tea bag and I'll be right back. There we go. I'm back. I'm blowing a lot of raspberries today, and I'm sighing a lot. And these deep breaths and everything. I don't know. I guess I really wanted to talk to you. I really wanted to get that frustration out there. Tell the big bad fucking Twitch universe about about my social interaction woes. I mean, come on. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. You're gonna listen to it, and you're gonna love it every fucking second. Let me fucking sip some tea. Ah, that's nice. But yeah, shit. There are other aspects to it, other sides of it, where, for example, just like the more I cultivate my approaching people, other people cultivate their being approached and attracting that. And when you can do that at high level, like at fucking at skill ceiling levels, right? If you can do that, all you have to do is sit back and wait for people to come to you, and then you can pick and choose as well. And recently I've had a talk with someone whom I like. Okay, I like the guy, honestly, and we had that talk, and it turns out they're in this weird situation where there is this other person in the middle, and there's like four people around them, all right, and they're all vying for that person's fucking attention, and that person is just being an absolute queen in the bad sense. Okay, and oh my god, I'm like, Jesus, that's like some fucking end game shit. Like that person has unlocked fucking skills, dude. That person has fucking unlocked skills. Let me tell you. When it reaches a point where it's an MMO, and yet you have like four people crowding to get to your heart, okay, and you're picking and choosing. You've picked, my friend. You've picked in the worst way possible, but also, fucking respect. But also, holy shit, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. I'm sorry. And that's also why, because all these topics, like, intertwine, they are tangled up. Because, for example, you see that, or because I know both of these people, I know both of them. I actually, in fact, know most of that, shit spaghetti. Okay, but I am just like, I watch that and I go like, that part of me that I was talking about, those strange parts of my brain, they go like, damn, I can never have that, kind of, and you get sad and you're like, oh, maybe because I can't be such a cute little thing, I can't like pretend, oh my god. And I'm like, what are you even thinking? What are you even thinking? I would like to rip that part of me that causes that thing and fucking stomp it and then burn it and stomp it again and fucking piss on it. And then, I don't know, burn it again and then throw it out the fucking window. Because I hate that fucking sensation. And it is illogical and... what the fuck, for real. Anyway. More cake. I think... shit. Let me swallow again. Fuck, okay. So... I think a lot of all of that kind of crumbles. And I would like to test that eventually. But I feel all of that crumbles the moment, like the more real life you inject into it, the more it crumbles. All these constructs, all these interactions, I don't think they would last long in real life, personally. But you know what? And here's a kicker, and that's a bad one. Real life is starting to matter less and less the more people stay online and the more, you know, technology enables an increasing number of parts of real life to be simulated. And I know I sound like such a fucking like doomsayer and such a fucking 2000 kid, all right, when I say that, but Jesus Christ, at this point, like we're reaching that point where you can literally fuck with someone, almost. So, you know, and I'm not talking about ERP, I'm talking about using toys and the toys being synchronized with like a game and the game being about fucking and the animations being about fucking and the animations then, you know, determine the kind of pleasure you're gonna be getting. Like it's what the fuck? Give it another 10 years. Let VR get there. Let fucking body tracking get there. You'll see what I mean. I'm not against it. Like anything technology related, I fucking love it. I would love to use that shit. Honestly, I would love to experience that shit. But also, you can't be blind to the fact that, like, there comes a point where why would you leave your house? Why would I need, right? After all this fucking shit settles into your mind, especially as a younger person, why would you have to give any value to meeting someone in real life? Like, why? It's definitely gonna be worse, okay? In that person's mind, okay? It's definitely gonna be worse because they don't know anything else. So once that generation is the main generation, you're done. Sometimes you aspire to not leaving the house. Yeah, but I think it's for different reasons for you. When it happens out of, you know, when the reason at that point is, why would I do that since I can do everything in here? When it comes to, you know, human interactions, that's, you know, that's not the same. Because I've also not left my house for quite a while. Yeah, I sure go out. I mean, I go to my lawyer's office, I do chores, I pay bills, you know, all those things. In fact, I look forward sometimes to that shit because, you know, there's a reason to go out because I don't have, currently, there isn't like any, I have like 2 people I can see here and that's it. That's it. Okay? And I don't see them right now and I don't go out clubbing right now or, you know, having fun outside because of my problems with like my self-esteem right now, which are based on like still not having the body weight that I desire to have, that I used to have. I'm fighting for it, but like that's not my point. In the meantime, I just can't socialize, so I find myself in my house a lot, in my apartment. Um, but I crave going out. I want to social. I want to see, to look people in the eye, and to touch, and to all that shit. I crave that. Now this, that is going to go away eventually, right? And good luck then. Quite fucking honestly, good fucking luck with that shit. And to tie it into the conversation we're having earlier, it's more like, and don't get me wrong, like right now, a lot of people still go out, still, want to meet other people and all that. But this particular bunch of people I'm talking about, so MMO crowds, a little bit more secluded, a little bit more antisocial. Not antisocial is the wrong word. Like less social is the correct word. Now these guys are fucked. They're already trying, to take full advantage of all of that shit. And the thing is, why see the other person if their pretend self is like better than anything they would ever want? To quote, because this is not my fucking thoughts on the matter, and better than they themselves think they could find out there. So I don't know. All of this shit is it brings some questions to the table, doesn't it? And me, what can I say about myself? Whenever I've, me, I like to create contact with people with whom I have at least a chance to one day look in the fucking eye. Okay? Whatever that means to you. If I don't have the chance to do that, I am not inclined to interact. I'm like, why would I do it? I'll never see that person. It's not that they don't count for me. And this is why lately I've been a little bit lenient towards that. It's not that they're less human. I don't dehumanize them in my brain just because I'll never see them. But let's say I might keep it at a level. Whereas with people like I might meet, yeah, there I kind of like go hard, you know? Um, and the moment that these people are faced, with a dreaded moment of you saying, "Hey, can I look at you? Like, can I look at you, please? Like, can you show me what you look like? Can I hear your voice? Like, I need something more real, right? I need something to decide, like, if this is going somewhere, for example, if this is something." And that's the point where it all fucking usually gets completely, like, eradicated, like, completely destroyed. And it's such a shame, honestly. But it's also a testament to what I'm saying, that yeah, this is like for these people that I'm talking about, that time that I mentioned where people will be asking, why would I meet someone in real life? Why would I even step out of my apartment? Is already here, and that is that makes things a lot worse when it comes to socializing in MMOs. And that's how I'm gonna tie it into the previous subject. I'm telling you, everything we discussed today is really just it's adjacent, all right. And it always circles back to like all of it, right? It circles back to how hard it is because of all those things combined to again to be the one approaching someone, to be the one initiating contact, to be the one who has to then back out of it if you have to, and what problems that presents for me, for example, in particular for me. Yeah, and I guess I wanted to fucking share. I wanted to just fucking whine about it, and there you have it. Yeah. And the thing is, like in this difficulty, right, that you have in pulling out, you're trying to be kind of reasonable and honest. But don't even get me started on when a person like that, you know, feels like they have to pull out. Now that's where everything will go wrong. Like, that's how it starts becoming an absolute fucking monkeys flinging shit at each other kind of show. Because these people are they just, with all the problems, I keep saying these people, but you know, I refer to the people who fall in the category of the starter kit that I described, okay, initially. So when these people are, you know, are feeling the need to pull out, you can be certain it will fucking hurt, because they'll do it in such a way and using such fucking tactics, because I can only call them tactics or manipulations, that holy shit, you'll be left reeling and bleeding on the fucking floor. I'm not even kidding. Not because they are like this kind of like manipulative, like super mastermind, criminal mastermind, or villainous like Reds, but more like because they just don't know better. It's like they come face to face with situations that they're just not equipped for. Their like little thing, their whole thing is not about that. It doesn't extend to that scenario. It barely extends to the scenario where they actually feel feelings for you. All right, which is also another horrible part of all of this, because it does clearly demonstrate that it's difficult or unexpected, at the very least, for feelings to actually develop between like someone and these people, quote unquote. And when it does, oh boy, and that that ties back to what I said, that I can't easily pull out, and so when feelings develop, and then it goes to the other person wanting to leave, oh god, like, you have no fucking idea. In short, TLDR, yes, it is tiring, it is exhausting, and all that because, well, you know why? Because there is no self-awareness. That's why. There's no self-awareness, and there is no real-life socialization for those people, again, quote unquote. And I know I'm starting to sound like a fucking racist when I say that. But again, to clarify, when I've said these people, those people, I mean the percentage of population of MMOs, which, you know, displays certain characteristics, to not use the starter kit thing again, because I don't want to be demeaning. I want to be sympathetic a little bit, and it may be too late for me to come across as sympathetic, but seriously, if I wasn't sympathetic, why would I be fucking, you know, going for it over and over and over? I wouldn't be. But I really sympathize, and I'm a sucker for a sob story, and fuck my life, I guess. You don't think you got the starter kit? Well, you know, as you said yourself, we've said it plenty, and it's the usual fucking 20 to 30, fucking unemployed, undereducated, living with parents, maybe sometimes bird in a golden cage as well, proclaiming to be trans, no, proclaiming to be, or if not, then not to the degree that they should be proclaiming that, but instead they should be saying, hey, I'm considering that, or I feel that way, but like blah blah, you know, there are, use words, motherfucker, stop using fucking terms like they're nothing. They usually say they have like ADHD or some other self-diagnosed bullshit. And again, by calling it bullshit, I'm not talking about actual ADHD, but like this, yes, this self-diagnosed things that are not even illnesses, they're just imaginary shit, you know, to cover up for inadequacies. Most of them will also say, oh, I'm also autistic or whatever. They're not. In reality, they're just fucking morons, quite honestly. So yeah, you get the idea. I don't want to continue because I've explained it earlier. So that's the fucking starter kit. So yeah. It also gives me such a horrible name, and people like me such a fucking horrible name, because we've put so much work in ourselves, and this is a fucking brag because it's fucking deserved. And GG's if you've gone through this, okay? Because you know what I'm talking about if you have. But to go back to that, to the point I was making, it really fucking feels like misappropriation, and it really feels shitty, honestly, if you stop and care for it, okay? Or if you want to be cynical towards it. Because most of the times, again, like for real, I'll be sympathetic towards it. I'll be like, yeah, okay, perhaps you are feeling like that, perhaps, you know. But no, usually it's just that, like, as I said, it's easier to be in their minds, it's easier to be a trans person, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of those people were the same people that back in the 90s and the 2000s were like, oh, I'm actually a girl, but they didn't have the fucking guts to say that they're not. Now that you can have like trans as a fucking shield, they're saying that, giving actual trans people a really bad reputation from what I've found. And this is legitimate to bring up. They do give actual trans people a horrible reputation. Because, you know, they're basically little immature shits that honestly just fucking hurt people because they're hurt. That's not being trans, you know. It's nothing to do with it. It has a lot to do with being an immature little shit, honestly. Anyway. And in that, you know, I was on purpose demeaning because I also have emotions and they're stirred right now, and so I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, good talk. Let me have the last of my cake. And then... Oh, and again, I just... You see how this works? I can't fucking... Jesus Christ. And I'm talking about the camera right now. If it wasn't obvious. Like, it's so fucking easy to not do it, right? Anyway. Okay, I have to say, this cake is boring. I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna finish it, actually. BRB. This cake is boring. How is a cake boring? That's unbelievable. Anyway, I'm back. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can at least, for the last 10 or so minutes, kind of make good on what I said. And I say kind of because honestly I feel like I've completely fucked you with this. But here we go. There. What do you have to say about that, Camera. And I'll assume my seductive pose. Wait, I gotta work on that shit. Let me just... I'll be like this. Wait, no, it's too bright. Give me a sec. Now it's gonna be too dark, isn't it? It's never gonna be good enough. That's the moral of the story. I'll never be good enough, no matter the lighting. All right, so this is kind of okay, I guess. I mean, I can be seductive leaning on that other side over here. Might be better. What do you have to say about that? Hmm? And I can sip my tea. And I can feel embarrassed. I don't know. I am kind of like I'm kind of shy. I'll have you know, I'm kind of shy. But I'm willing to stay a little bit like that and see what happens. We can see it as an exercise. First of all, as an exercise to not eating my hair. And second of all, as an exercise to, I don't fucking know, to keep the camera going, if I can, right? I'm looking at myself in the preview there, and I fucking can't. I just can't. I'm just laughing so much at it. Okay, don't turn off the camera. Just focus. It's gonna be alright. I got this. Talk to me. Say something. Say anything. The longer you have it on, the less weird it will get, I feel. And I say that as someone that hates cameras. Yeah, well, I don't hate it. I'm just shy. Like I personally think it's a good thing. I feel like it's cute in a way to have um to have the camera on. I guess it makes me feel cute. Listen, I don't know why I said that. Yeah, it's true though. It kind of like makes you feel like you're important. You're very cool, and you kind of like command the stage or whatnot. It kind of makes you feel like that. It gives me a feeling similar to when I was um, taking a taking an exam on public speaking back in college. Um, and I say back in college with such a fucking attitude as if spent years increasing my academic knowledge. When in reality I'm a dropout, okay? Because like fuck math, dude. For real, fuck math. And so, wait, let me see and I'll tell you. All right, so um, it was a public speaking exam, right? As I said, and I got up there, and it was fucking horrible. But after a while, there was like this sweet moment, just a sweet moment right there, 1 second, nothing else, where I felt okay. I felt like, all right, it doesn't get worse than this, because you've gotten used to the crowd. Which, I mean, it wasn't even a crowd, it was just basically class, right? Just 30 people or something. And you get used to that, and you realize that you're not that important to them, and they're like just doing their own thing. They're just like throwing papers at each other, or talking among each other, or not really paying attention to your stupid fucking shit speech, which, by the way, was about it was about the portrayal of certain events in games that have or will happen in real life, and what's the chance of them, of the games, that is, accurately guessing what might be. It's such a stupid thing, honestly. And it was about Command and Conquer Generals, which in a way back then, right, was quite relevant to what was happening worldwide. Anyway, that's not the point. And then there comes this point, like this sweet moment, when you're like comfortable with it. You're like, okay, not all of them are watching me, and those who are interested, and my teacher is also watching and evaluating me, and that's okay because she's smiling. All right. And then I found like that moment of courage where you're like, okay, now I can really find the strength of my voice and just go on and like finish the shit, wrap it up good. And I did, and I got a high grade. And because the last half of my speech was like really fucking good, not because the subject was good, but because of how I presented it. Because it's public speaking, they don't really care about the subject too much. As long as you can make it interesting, that's what they want. Okay. Anyway, that's my little story, and then that's the moment I'm looking for here, I guess. I don't know what to say. I am a bit awkward. I do feel a bit awkward. I'm shy, but also, yeah, it's like the anticipation of that moment, I guess, makes it sweet and makes me feel like nice, or as I said, cute. As I described it, kind of like that. Even though in reality, um, I have full knowledge that I am like completely probably atrocious to you. I don't fucking know. I honestly think that I am. I think I grow on people. I don't think that if you see me on the street, right? I don't think that you would notice me probably. I'm aware that people notice me, um, but like probably not for the right reasons, not for the kind of reasons that I would want or you would want. But definitely I leave an impression, I'd say. Um, but beyond that, which is not positive, most of the times, I think I'm more like grown people. So if you get to know me, um, I win you over very easily. I think. Okay, maybe a lot of that doesn't translate on stream, for example. Um, I have no fucking idea. I haven't looked into how. Um, I would have to literally study myself and notice the differences with how I am in real life and how I'm with you here. um, I feel like if I tried to be exactly as I am in real life, it wouldn't go over well because I would have to, like in real life, I'm very actually relaxed. Like usually what I do is like, let's pretend that we're on a date, right? If I was on a date right now with you, all of you, but let's assume that you're a single entity, right? A single person, hive mind, if you will, for the purposes of this experiment, right? And this was like a table. We have a table at the cafe, right? And I've asked you out because, of course, I will take the first step. Um, I should not. You know what? You asked me out, okay? You're the one who asked me out. Fuck off. In this example, and so you asked me out, and here I am, and this is like the table between us, and like, yeah, okay. So, how would it go? Let's assume that like our tea arrives. Usually, what I do is like, let me just. This is so silly, but like, I sit there comfortably. I would, of course, let's assume that the chair is not doing this. This one can, so I'll be doing it. But in real life, I don't fidget like that. Okay, I'm just like this. All right, here. That's how I be. I usually keep my cup in my hands. I don't know if that's like bad or not. I've noticed people notice though. They're noticing what I'm doing with my hands. I think that's because unconsciously I do things like this. I don't know if you're catching this, or I'll do things like this sometimes, or I'll put my hands here, or I'll hold it like this, for example. Again, ignore the wiggling of the chair. I'm just wiggling because I'm shy. I'm embarrassed. Okay, what can I tell you? And so, usually, for example, once this first initial contact is established, I just, I will drink like so. This is about the time when I will, if I'm smoking at the period, I'll probably, put that down for a bit and reach for my smoking apparatus. All the little things like the pouch and like the rolling paper and the filter, and I'll start rolling, and like if you see me rolling, I'm very careful with my movements and very expressive, which I don't do on purpose. It's just that like I like things looking nice, and so I make them nice, and I like, you know, to. Anyway, it's difficult to explain. I'm just opening up right now, and after that, I'll just sit like this, and I'll say, for example, something smart. Which don't ask me to say something smart right now because I feel extremely stupid. I would be like, let me think. Uh, I'll take um, I'll take Adam as an example in this, okay? And I'll be like, so you were saying that Kitty is into PvP now. That's very interesting. That kind of thing. I would be like that, and I would convince you that I'm interested in you because I am. But I would like to express it, you know, until you're convinced. Exactly because it's true, though. Even though I'm aware that some people like to manipulate those reactions, I generally just do it because I feel it's honest and genuine for me. And I would be like that. And as the conversation goes on, I would probably shift my stance and be like, you know, tell me about you a little bit. You know, that kind of, but I wouldn't say that ever, okay? But I would be like, it's difficult to emulate the conversation in my head, but like, I assume that you would say something eventually that would give me a hook that I want to actually get to know you. And that's what I would do because that's what I'm more interested in, you know, more than anything else. Um, I don't think that shit flies here, okay? I think here, so what I do here, let's see, let me walk you through it, like what goes through my head. Um, let me think, because I've never actually given this thought. Like I've never studied myself in this situation. So this is very raw for me. So what am I doing? I'm trying to be like when you see me do that, it's because I'm feeling not comfortable, but I want to be comfortable. So this expresses my desire to be comfortable with you. Um, I'm pretty certain. I'm really certain about that. The swinging, like this wiggling thing I do, is because I'm excited because I'm facing a new situation. No pun intended. Um, so obviously I'll wiggle a bit because, listen, you don't need to know why, okay? I just wiggle. It's like a natural response from my body, I guess. And if you've noticed, I hide a lot behind my cup or whatever else I'm holding. um, it also brings me back some years, like a lot of years actually, when I was ashamed about my smile, my teeth, and everything. There wasn't any particular reason. I guess I had very crooked teeth for a while, so maybe there is that. But in real life interactions, I've completely conquered it, whereas here it's fresh. So it's almost like starting over. Um, which also means that some of the things I've managed are just not there anymore. Like for example, feeling comfortable smiling. Um, so yeah, I will just hide my smile, you know, if I can. And what else? I'm way too fucking. The fact that like imagine meeting someone and they're holding a mirror like this all the time. They're just holding a mirror. Now there is two problems with that. First, you want the mirror to be there because you might want to like micro adjust things on the spot, which others may not notice, but you do. Um, so in that regard, you want it there. You want the preview window there because you know you just want to see what they see momentarily, just at a glance, right? And if you follow my eye movement, I do that. Even now, I did it, and now. But it also presents a problem because now you're aware of yourself, which normally you're not. And you're not because you're charmed by the person in front of you. Like they're in your focus. You let go of your self-awareness, and you focus on the other person because they interest you. But here I have nothing to focus on. In fact, you're not even a person, you're a camera. And all I have to focus on is this like reflection of myself there. Let me tell you, that is doing a number. That is doing a number. Like I'm like a kitten who is, seeing itself, herself in my case, in a mirror. And they go like, that kind of thing. And it's fucking, I can't take it for long, you know. I just can't. And I don't think, I mean, cats do get used to it, so probably eventually I'll get used to it. But like right now, this is first contact almost. Even though I've been streaming for years, right? And I have had my camera on for a few things, including like the ice cream incident and the other ice cream incident, and also a few things anyway. And still, it's been in such short bursts and so concentrated and not like spread over time that every time feels like I start over, kind of. Also, another difference which I don't have in real life is again related with what I see there in the preview, and that is, for example, how I try to keep my posture, which, that, let me tell you, just fucking sucks, because I haven't found yet how I feel more like confident. In real life, it's easy to read the other person's like body language and their eyes and everything, and how they react to you, and be like, okay, I got this. This is how I should be. I should be like, you know what to do. And then once you know, then you do that with every person that you meet, because you know that this is your best self, and you want that, right? But here, I can't see how you're reacting to me. I could see, for example, my views going down. That would immediately destroy me. So it would ruin my fucking confidence. And then, instead of like taking it as a sign to self-improve, I would be like, I don't want to fucking stream anymore. That kind of thing. It's so weird. Well, not stream, but like I wouldn't want to have my camera on anymore, let's say. And that's like it's limited. That's what I'm trying to say. It's limited, for sure. It's really limited. I don't know. I don't have a lot to work on, uh, to work with, not on. I just have to keep doing it, I guess. I have to keep asking you on dates, until I can see like how you react to me and how I react to you. But right now, it feels like okay. So you caught it now. I was looking at my preview window because I wanted to see if this, which sometimes I do. I wanted to see what it looks like to you, like tapping a rhythm on my thighs, for example, on my thick thighs. Uh, I wanted to see how that looks to you. I'm not sure if it looks good enough, so I probably shouldn't do it. Hey, Pressure Mat, how are you? Now you're the one who caught the tail end of my stream. Yesterday was Adam. You just caught me as I was planning to say, hey, I maybe got another 10-20 and then I'll have to go. But it is very nice to see you. And I'm wondering where you've been. We finished Inquisition. You know that? It's done. I did it. So now it's Cyberpunk next time. Yeah. Let me actually fix the lighting a little bit. For once, I'll make myself a little bit more clear to see. I think. I hope not too clear. You're not ready for that. But let's see how this looks like. Anyway, what are your news? Oh yeah, I fucking loved Dragon Age Inquisition. I absolutely loved it, and so yeah, I'm a bit brighter. Okay, cool. I fucking loved Inquisition, for real. It was good. Also, let me try something. What do you have to say about this? Too much? You can see my boobs. I don't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, you can sort of see more of my boobs. That's not the purpose though. The purpose is to find a better angle that serves me right just a moment. But it was an interesting remark. Maybe this? Is this good? Anyway, now I'm conscious of my boobs, which I'll tell you this about me. I haven't conquered my boobs yet. Like, as in, I haven't taken them for too many rides, as it is. I've done the usual thing where, you know, you find a friend, and I'm glad you enjoyed the game. You love the series. I love it too now. I'm a big fan right now, honestly. After finishing Inquisition, I'd say I want more. I can't wait for Dreadwolf. We're definitely playing that. But yeah, back to the Bob. Yeah, Bob and Boob. Back to the boob talk. I've done the usual where you go out with a friend and then you end up going like, hey, you know, your boobs have grown, and you're like, yes. And you know, you kind of go like, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. And I did see it. Yeah, but that's a nothing burger. That teaser is nothing. That is worse than the fucking GTA trailer. It's like nothing. So we'll see. Sorry about talking about my boobs. You just came into a conversation about well, I guess streaming presence versus real life presence, and like certain ways I go about those. And then, you know, when you came in, we were discussing, for example, why I'm not completely confident yet. Shout out my boobs. Thank you. My boobs. Thank you for your attention, pressure mud. But like, what was I saying? Yeah. So I don't know if it's that far. I don't know if it's as far as like, as for example, GTA 6 is, which is like pretty damn far. Far enough that we don't care about it. Sure, the trailer looks good, all right? It looks fantastic, yeah. But 2 years? 2 fucking years? Are you serious? Like, who cares, honestly? So I don't know if Dreadwolf is that far. Okay, we'll see. I don't remember when it's coming out. If it's 1 year, I'm excited. But still, the teaser was a nothing burger. Like, they didn't really show anything. Also, the last part of the Inquisition, right? First info Dreadwolf will be summer next year. So most likely 25. You want me to play the teaser? Okay, I'll do that. Give me a sec. And I'll do just that. Let's watch the teaser. Shall we? Official in-game cinematic trailer? Is that the one you want? Or do you want the Dragon Age Dreadwolf Thedas calls that is like from 5 days ago? That one? I guess. Anyway, oopsie daisy. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna mute myself. And let's see what we got. Let me also save you some trouble with sound. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself. Let's see.
We fight for everyone, and we always will. The Crows rule Antiva.
Glory to the risen gods. They come to deliver this world.
Grey Wardens don't hide in our castle. I won't ask good soldiers to turn tail and run.
All the world will soon share the peace and comfort of my reign.
All right. What do I have to say about that? First of all, I just listen. I have to play something. I don't fucking care. You have to. You're gonna endure. You're gonna endure.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine. Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you. One day, the crude biomass that you call the temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But I am already saved. For the machine is immortal. Even in death, I serve the Omnisire.
I don't think I've ever seen funniest thing in the last 10 days. I'm not even kidding. In the last 10 days at least, I haven't seen anything funnier than this shit. Like what the fuck am I even watching? What are these people doing and why? Like, for real. But yeah. As for the trailer, yeah, what it tells you is like, yeah, there's going to be factions. There's going to be I guess countries or areas that are much larger, yeah. All I can say is please no MMO bullshit. That's what I'm gonna say. Please no fucking MMO bullshit anymore. Like, that was the weakest point of Inquisition. And yeah, it almost made me not want to play at one point, but then I got used to it. But then again, I got used to it because I had a fucking mod for it, right? Last leak they had, it was going more towards God of War. What does that even mean? Like, I haven't played a single God of War game ever in my life, nor will I, because I just this kind of Nord porn, I just don't like, you know. The farthest I go with this kind of Nord porn, you know, is playing Skyrim. That's the farthest I go. All this fetish with, like, you know, fairs and like Vikings and all that shit, I just don't dig it any more than I dig like what they did with 300, you know, the movie. I don't like fetishizing a culture so much. So God of War to me can, you know, it can go fuck itself, honestly. And before it was Nord porn, it was like Greek porn. Let's never forget that. It was kind of that. Yeah, no, I was always turned off by the gameplay of that thing. Anyway, point being, I haven't played any of them, so you can explain if you want. That must be mass. Okay, so did you watch the Game Awards? No, I didn't. I kind of lost interest in all that. A person I know wanted to restream it. Like, everyone and their mother was restreaming that shit. I guess I should be doing that if I want more views. But the thing is that I care for views, but like, I'm just not that big that this would make a difference. Because like, so many big names are going to be streaming that like you get lost in a sea of restreams. And with that's as far as my interest would go, you know. Plus, how would I react? A lot of people. So let me tell you something. Wait. If you wanted to watch Kojima getting more screen time than the actual awards, I guess it was good. Yeah, fuck Kojima, first of all. I'm sorry. Unpopular opinion. Fuck Kojima and his fucking surreal fucking day trips, okay? I don't care about his, like, LSD fever dreams anymore. I am so disenchanted with that person's, like, creations at this point. I don't fucking give a fuck. For real. Wank him as much as you want. I personally just don't care. It is like, whatever, dude. For real. Like that shit, I can give LSD to a monkey, and then eventually they're gonna write something that resembles a Kojima script. So, whatever, I don't care. It is almost like this. It's almost like this. Neon Genesis Evangelion. I like simplicity. I like things to make sense. I don't want to play that. I want things to make sense. I just want a story. That's also why I loved fucking Inquisition Dragon Age. The reason I loved it was that it's basically it's medieval fantasy. Keyword being basically. Alright? It's basic medieval fantasy. I like it. I'm a sucker for that shit. What do you want me to say? I preferred it when fucking Star Wars was simpler. You know, I don't know. The only lore that I will say I enjoy the complexity of is actually Warhammer 40k. And it's not the complexity I enjoy, actually, but the, what's the fucking word? It's the, there's another word that literally matches it. Not nuance. Not variety. Something. I don't fucking remember. Whatever. Also, I used the word nuisance instead of the word nuance earlier. Like much earlier when I was talking about the social stuff I was talking about. I just used nuisance instead of like nuance. Which was wrong. Anyway, I just acknowledge it like pre-post production. Pre-post editing, which I'm not gonna edit. Just, you know, I never edit my shit. I fucking hate looking at myself and listening to myself. So yeah, but yeah, I don't think like I care for the Kojima stuff anyway. And to bring it back to the awards, it's like I would have to sit there and be very mindful of like insulting people's tastes. And if you know me, you know that I can't do that. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm about talking the truth. I'm gonna say that usually my opinions are kind of like not really popular, I guess. Not in a cool or uncool way, just that's how it is, I guess, you know. Sometimes, I mean, people love Cyberpunk, I'm like, fucking hate that thing. Literally playing it to fuel my fucking anger. And also produce some cool moments because of it. Because of that, you know, bad relationship I have with it. It's become kind of like a staple at this point. And yes, Adam, we're going back to Cyberpunk. You know, it's almost like tradition at this point. A new patch is out, we have to fucking try and pick up where we left. We have a save. You know, I have to at least play it like for 2 streams. I mean, you don't support the tradition, but it is a tradition. Like, you have to respect it. You may not like it, but you have to respect it, Adam. Anyway, don't worry. It's gonna last like a couple of streams, and then I'm gonna be Skyriming. I'm gonna reaming in the sky like a crazy girl. But what I was saying about the Game Awards, I would have to sit there and pretend to be fucking excited for shit like whatever the fuck they shut out this time, which I think was like what was something that the day before the After of Tomorrow nights or something, or some shit like that, which leaves me so fucking uninterested. Or like, I don't know, I have to pretend I'm fucking, you know, shocked by the gameplay, or, you know, that other game that they put out, that weird shit where Yeah, where you are like this weird team of supernatural whatever, and you just like fire your generic M4 rifle at generic ghosts or shit. That, you know, the one that looked like Evil Within 2, except more, you know, shitty. I mean, yeah, you're a monster hunter simp, but everyone is a simp of something, and I didn't like anything. And I would have to be, woo, they're showing this shit. Yeah, that's so exciting. Let me fucking look at it. It's so exciting. I'd have to be like that. I don't want to be like that. So if I'm not gonna be like that, and I restream that shit, I'm gonna get fucking trash talked. I don't want that. Why do you think I don't like streaming MMOs? Because, for example, I have some opinions about Final Fantasy that are pretty fucking contemptuous. So that's why I don't like doing it. Or sometimes whenever I've done it in the past, it was in the just chatting category. I didn't want the fucking Final Fantasy crowd to hit me and go like, oh, how dare you fucking criticize anything fucking Yoshi P does. Like, whatever. The YouTube thumbnail face. Wait, what? What do you mean? What is a YouTube thumbnail face? What are you talking about? Oh my god, yeah, wait, so this, right? Wait. So this. I should go like I don't fucking know how that looked. I don't care even, but I should be like that, yeah. And don't forget the little arrow. Like the, you know, the pointing arrow. Like they put like those red arrows. I can't find an example, like let me check. Or like, you know, the letter coloring when it's like red and white most often than not. But like, where is the arrow? I want one with the arrow. I want to see. Oh god, I can't find an example, but like a lot of videos, like for example for Asmongold, they have like this red arrow pointing at something that is making supposedly, you know, what you call it, making him like go like the open mouth. Yeah, that's like that's a thing. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Cool shit. Yeah, the YouTube faces are funny. I can't even make, like, I look stupider than they do, by the way. I can't make a YouTube face. I don't have a good YouTube face. I barely have a good face in general. I barely generally have a face. I'm just like faceless. I'm a monster. Fuck it. I live in the darkness. The only thing that ever illuminates my face is like my monitor. That's how cursed. That's how cursed I am. I don't even have skin pigmentation. It's like it's whatever my monitor makes me, orange or blue or green, whatever wallpaper I have, mixed with my background light. Even the background light is not actual background light; it's reflection of background light. Like there's no light pointing at me other than my two screens. Any lighting that you see is basically light reflected on my walls, on my apartment's walls. You're a naturally funny and entertaining person. Well, I really fucking appreciate that you're saying that, for real. I personally doubt it. I hope for it. Well, for your own good. Otherwise, you will come to the realization that you're wasting your time. And I don't want you to realize that, because then what happens, right? I'll lose you. But like, no, I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. That's all I'm gonna say. A kind of blast, if you have to know. I'm good there was no camera going. Not good. I'm good. I'm glad. That's what I would say if I knew the first thing about speaking English. I can't take a compliment. I can't. I fucking can't take a compliment. Okay, it's easier for me to take a compliment for real. All right. It's true. I'm sorry, but it's true. You're trying to like to put that thing in me, and it's just I can't stretch enough to take it in. It's difficult. I'm not talking about the coke. I'm talking about the compliment. I've met a lot of people in my life. I'm from New York City, and I can confidently say you have it. Oh my god. Should I look behind me, or am I gonna see a clown there? Sorry. I keep turning it around to a joke, but I'm only doing it meaning well. Yeah, but it's not my fault. It's like it's even in quotation mark. It's even in quotation marks. It's not my fault. Hey, if I'm good enough to cut it in a New York crowd, okay, I am happy. Because in every situation that involves a fucking, some entity haunting me or anything, my solution, go to New York City, find a party and crash it. And don't leave ever until that whatever is haunting you and hunting you loses interest. Because half of that fucking paranormal shit that we see, they seem to not do well in crowded places. A lot of people say humor comes from pain. Yeah. The pain of being awesome, if you want to know the truth. You didn't expect that, I fucking bet. Well, I mean, yeah, I like, is there a lot of pain? Yes, there has been pain, for sure. I mean, for all of us, right? But not necessarily, like, this statement is not necessarily true. Oh my god, this statement might be true. Listen, I'm not quite sure. I feel like a lot of it comes from generally just, how can I say it? Like, I like taking a situation that might at the time have been heavy for me, let's say, and I like to remember it and laugh about it, for example, right? Now that is what you're talking about. So humor, when it comes to situations, let's say, for example, you're sitting with your best friend, and they're telling you, "Oh, this happened to me," and you, having gone through it, come up with something cheerful and smart, and the other person can't help but laugh because it's good humor for a shitty situation. That is what you're talking about. Having the general ability to twist anything into something funny, I don't think that comes from pain. I think that comes from okay, so in my case, right? In my case, it comes from wanting to actually laugh, like wanting to have a good time. Like, I love laughing. It is something that honestly it's a part of happiness that is easy to get. It's easy to get, trust me, as far as parts of happiness, are concerned. And so if you can give some of that, or take some of that, all right? Or in my case, think it so that you amuse yourself and share it so you amuse others. I think it comes from like just wanting to generate happiness in general. Not in some weird sense of like, oh, I like giving happiness to people. It's not like that. It's like, yeah, let's have a laugh, because what are you gonna do? Just sit here and like do what? Why would you watch me if I couldn't do that, right? Let's be real. Sometimes because I just discuss interesting things, other times because what I'm playing is interesting to watch, not necessarily how I play it, but definitely what I'm playing, perhaps. I don't know. But a part of it is also, being able to twist things around and like make something out of something, verbally. So I would differentiate between these things. I would say that you're right, but you're also not completely right about my case, I think. If you were to tell me something sad, I would try to turn it around. If that is any consolation. You're very articulate. Yeah, I have about, like, I don't know, how many joints do we have in our bodies? I have about that amount. And I'm honest. Yeah, I am. Like, honest, yeah. Honesty gets you in trouble. That's the first thing any honest person will tell you. I have thousands of articulation points on my body. And now I'm trying too hard, okay? Just leave me alone. I'm just trying too hard, okay? Let me just try hard. I mean, whenever I get a compliment, I like, okay, so here's my mechanism, okay? You're welcome. This is my mechanism about receiving a compliment. I will take it. I will twist it. I will make everything I can out of it. It doesn't always go well. But you know what? I know how to take them though. Oh my god, that sounded you know what? I'm not gonna try anymore. I just thank you. Okay? Thank you. Let's not discuss what let's not talk about my ability to take things anymore. It's starting to get into like pleasurable territory. And you won't like me when I'm pleased. That's my secret. I'm always pleasuring myself. Oh my god, I'm sorry. That Hulk reference. Oh my god, okay. Alright. Thank you for your compliment. Oh my god. Alright, so where were we before that? Like honesty, right? Okay, so honesty. It's Christmas time and you're talking like that. Oh my god, how should I be talking? Tell me. As you're telling me. Yeah, honesty is a thing that hurts. And more often than not, when you're honest, people are not going to believe you anyway. So I don't know like how worth it is for real. Because if they don't believe you, they're going to act like they don't believe you, right? So you're really not changing anything. I guess it's something you do out of like your own principles, right? Respect traditional values. My god. I have my own traditions. They're about like not doing anything at Christmas. Traditional, yeah. Oh god. Respect the traditional values. Tradition you can be. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I get depressed during holidays. I can't help it. I get depressed. Surprisingly to no one, when I was literally fucking drowning in money, I loved it. Because I bought myself stuff, I bought others stuff. You know, I could get behind it. I was like, yeah, let me fucking celebrate my consumerism. Fuck it. Why the fuck not? Now that I'm not shitting gold. Oh shit, my camera is off. Okay, well. There. Holiday depressions are quite common. Yeah, I don't know. It's been like that for 20 years. I think the last time I was happy during Christmas was like... oh, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else. I don't like celebrations and festivities, honestly, not even in video games. It's even worse that they invade my video games, because then I can't escape. I can't fucking escape in my escapism. Actually, the look on my psychiatrist's face when I wanted to stop on depression right before Christmas was kind of fun. Oh my god. You said it all. I have nothing else to say. I have one thing to say. It's 10 for me. And it's been... it's been 3 hours and 20 minutes. I think it's time for me to go. Pressure Matt with his compliments managed to keep me hooked. I almost wanted another compliment, in fact. But I can do without it, it's okay. No, actually you complimented me twice. You did say that I would fit in a New York crowd. That is high praise. I'll take those compliments and run. Okay? Because I feel like Kaori and Neris are going to like skin me alive if we don't get some Baldur's time. And yeah, I wanna Baldur the gates a little bit. I wanna be Balduring a little bit. And yeah, this was meant to be like a couple of hours at most, and now it's 3 hours. See the things that you make me do. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed for what you do to me. You savages. All right. So I should be having these just chatting sessions more often. I might establish them for for Saturdays perhaps, or Fridays. And yeah, we will work on the camera thing. That is like the main purpose of this for now. Even if I have to sit there and say nothing and just look at the camera, I'll fucking do that. Because I need to get used to it. So yeah. Do you have a Discord? As in what? As in my personal Discord, or as in like a Discord for the stream? Because I don't have a Discord for the stream, or I don't think I will ever have one. It sounds like such a big streamer thing. I'm not gonna lie, like it sounds like such a big streamer thing to do. I'm not a big streamer. But I do have my own personal Discord, which, yeah, for what it matters. That said, I'll have to leave you. Never mind then. Yeah, but hey, you know what? Thank you for thinking about joining it, if it existed. I don't know if it will ever exist. If it is like, see, here's the thing. I've noticed that there are like, I don't know, 50 to 100 people watching me, okay? If any of them display an interest, like if a good part of them, a good chunk of them, like 1/3, okay, displayed an interest in that, in me establishing a Discord where you can like reach me, I suppose, I would make one. I'd make a Discord server. However, you're the only person who has asked me about that, I think. Either you're the only person and you've asked me twice, or there has been 2 people and the other one just disappeared into the fucking shadow realm. So it's, you know, it's just 2 people. Also, it would be something completely new to me, as I've never even considered the possibility. Like, I'm not even sure how you would run that. I've never seen an example of a streamer's Discord, and I've never looked it up. I've never joined one. Neither will I, ever. Nor will I, sorry, ever. Well, that's my personal take, right? So I don't know how or what would be expected of me, you know, being the streamer, if I had a server like that. Do you have any idea? Does, like, Adam, do you have an idea, or Neris? I personally don't. I have no idea. I know what to do with the stream chat. Read it and respond. Oh shit, Zai is here. Oh my god. Now that Zai is here, fuck. Zai, I fucking hate you. Yeah, I'll hydrate, fine. Jesus. Now you come in and you're forcing me to stay more, to have a beer with you, because you... Oh my god, just as I was leaving. Zai, why? Be right back. Fine. You don't have to stay and give me a sleep soon? I see. Is this because you don't want to miss the raid tomorrow? Or what? Missing the yeet? What yeet? Oh, yeah. Alright. So you're not gonna share a drink with me? You're releasing me of my obligations towards you, and we postpone it for Monday, or what? Like, how is this gonna work? I need to know, because I need to know if I can leave or not. So, also I hydrated efficiently and adequately, so there you have the proof that you need, that I'm hydrating for you. I'm getting wet. Yeah, of course you couldn't hear me because I'm an idiot. But can you hear me now? Which you should be hearing me. Right? Don't worry, I wasn't saying anything interesting, by the way. I was just hydrating and like, you know, cursing at Zai for that shit that he puts me through. You actually could the whole time? Oh my god, pressure, Matt. Giving me false information, sabotaging my stream. I see. Horribly. So Zai, you didn't answer. Let's have a drink on Monday, shall we? If you're leaving now. But if you're not there, you have a little rum. What, right now? Well, wanna have a drink with me before you go to bed? You're 2 whiskeys in? Not right now. Oh my god. Oh my god, just make up your mind. Make up your mind. It's torturing me like that, showing up but only at the tail end of the stream. Telling me that, yeah, you should hydrate. Then I'm begging you to tell me, are you releasing me from my obligation, or are we doing it on Monday? And then you're going like, oh, I have some rum. And then I'm like, okay, so now? Not now. I hate you. Let's do it on Monday, yeah. Let's do it on Monday, yeah, I fucking dig that. Let's, alright, yeah, you can have your rum, and I'll have some beer. That's what I've chosen. I've made up my mind on that. Yeah, no worries. I'm also leaving because, you know, I have to go on Baldur's a little bit and just spend the rest of the night gaming, I guess. It was fun. I got some camera time, you know, it just, yeah. How far on Baldur's Gate? We are at like somewhere before Underdark. We haven't done Underdark. We're somewhere. We're going very slow. On purpose. Yeah, Act 1, yeah. Slow is best? Yes, it is. I agree. I have my camera off again. I have no idea why I'm turning my camera off all the time. Oh, this time it's because I was leaving. That's right. So this time I'm excused. But whatever, there you go. I'm gonna try honor mode. Oh, I see. Funny coming from a person with no honor. Zai. Alright, so after insulting Zai enough for the night and fulfilling my hydration obligations and arranging my drinking obligations, I will now leave you. Ah, you refreshed. Well, now for real, I'll have to leave now. But I'm glad you found your tweets, you know, sense of hearing. We'll need it going forward, Pressure Mud. You need to be able to hear the sound of my voice. I'm leaving because of Baldur's Gate. And in fact, before I leave, before I commit to leaving, I should make sure that, like, you know, this is happening. Because I don't know if Kaori, right, if Kaori is in for it. Let me see. I asked this now. So I'm now waiting for the answer. This was initially a 2-hour stream at most. You should stay, but I don't want to stream Baldur's Gate though. But I do appreciate, honestly, the fact that you want me to stay. I don't think that either Kaori... You know what? Okay, I'll do you this one. I will stay. If Kaori says that they're not in for Baldur's, I will stay. I don't know what we're going to do. I have no fucking clue. I'll make it up as I go. But first I need to know. Not cyberpunk. Yeah, but like, think about it though, Adam. It should be cyberpunk. Oh my god, you're so right. It really should be cyberpunk because yes, you wanna. You should also decline. No, if Kaori says yes, we're going. Because I also want to play Baldur's Gate. I have the power of you playing Cyberpunk in my hand. Oh my god. You stop, like, okay, so first of all, I don't, like, how do you even, okay, maybe I'll tag Kaori. Can you tag someone in their PM? Power already going to your head? Yeah, well, I'm doing everything in my power to understand if Kaori wants to play or not, like right now, real quick. But I don't know where Kaori is. Lost in cyberspace. Well, I tagged them in the tag then. Like, just get tagged, bitch. I don't care. Hey, and what happens if I get hungry though? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna have like a streamer break or something? Like, what the fuck? I will eat the chupacabra? What the fuck? What? I'm tired. No, I'm not really tired. It's why I want to. It's why I'm eager to play some Baldur's Gate 3. Unless you mean like tired from streaming. No, I'm not really tired from streaming. It's like. It's more. Like streaming versus regular just gaming, right? That's the thing. It doesn't really add anything. And you guys are making it easy. So what the fuck? What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? Oh, Kaori answered. Need a small nap. Oh my god. Oh no, you traitor. Oh my god. That's traitorous. That's did you pay Kaori or something? Did someone? Oh my god! Did one of you actually? Ah, shit. All right, so here's what's gonna happen. You asked for it, motherfuckers. This is what the fuck. We're playing Cyberpunk. 100 to keep streaming. Oh, you're bribing me already. Do you think I'm that kind of girl, Pressure Mud? It would take at least 10,000 bits for that, darling. You actually wanted Baldur's? You shouldn't be jinxing it if you wanted Baldur's, because I wanted Baldur's as well. Now what you get is Cyber Baldur. It's Cybergate 2077. Baldur Punk. Alright, so now you're just bold now. Shut up. Listen, I'll be right back. I'll have a break. I need like 5 minutes to compose myself from Pressure Much kindness, first of all. And all the compliments and the beats. Like compliments with beats sprinkled on top is like just a donut with like glazing and like, you know, what you call these things? Are they called? Shit. What do you call them? Anyway, the colorful stuff on top. You get what I'm saying. I'll be right back. Yeah, let's take 5. I should put some music for you. I think. Should I? Perhaps I should. Give me a sec. Let me decide that. Because if it's gonna be 5 minutes, right? Let me see. Sprinkles, yes. Yeah, that's the thing. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna play something for you for like 5 to maybe 7 minutes, something like that, and then we're gonna cyber the fuck out of some punks. See how that goes, because I'm also like, I'm wondering, like, can I pull off a Saturday stream? If I can, that's the 4th stream in the week for more than 4 hours. I'm not sure I want to replicate that, and I'm not sure I want to like make that a staple or like, you know, confuse people into thinking that like my like average, right, is just Monday, Tuesday for about 6 to 8 hours this time, preferably towards 6 more than towards 8 if that's possible, and that's it. And maybe I'm now thinking of adding like just chatting on Saturdays for a couple of hours. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'll be back. Don't worry about it.
No, it's not right, but I'll sleep better tonight. the same. I wish I never said those things. Taking your love is mine to keep. 'Cause now you're my biggest regret, and it's not even a secret. When love isn't enough, you'll have to move on just to be numb. You know the rules there. No, it's not right. No, it's not right. I'll sleep better at night. When love isn't enough, you have to move on just to be numb. You know the rules there. No, it's not right. No, it's not right. But I'll sleep better tonight. No, it's not right. I'll sleep better at night. Isn't enough, you have to move on just to be numb. You know the rules then. No, it's not right. No, it's not right. But I'll sleep better tonight.
See, I heard what kind of like shit we were listening to, and I was like, hey, I better just fucking stop that. Damn. These mixes, I really appreciate them because like they're useful for times like this. But for example, from here to here, it was pretty chill last time, and now these last two fucking songs, like what the fuck? I could hear them, even though I wasn't at my desk. I could hear them, and I was like, oh my god, they must be seething, they must be moldy. I really appreciate the free aspect of it, obviously, because like, you know, copyright free and all that. But I think I'll be leaving you with my Spotify lists from now on. And, you know, whatever happens, if it gets muted, it gets muted. I don't care, honestly. However, that means that I'm still BRB technically. You know that. This is overtime. You better pay me. No, don't do anything like that. I just wanted to say the line. I just wanted to make the overtime joke. Don't worry about it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'll do you for free, honeys. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, especially Adam, I can listen. I don't know what kind of person you are when it comes to that, but you already having like already over your second glass of whiskey, I can just picture you just literally losing your soul, trying to keep that thing in with that music. Like it's the least fucking whiskey adjacent music you can find. In general, I feel like this generation's like music is a little bit questionable, I suppose. In my dealings with like people in the range of 20 to 25, let's say, whenever we kind of like listen to each other's music, you know, there are some hidden gems there because it's music at the end of the day, for sure. But mostly, I kind of cringe. Don't tell them. Okay. Don't let them know. Either way. Yeah, no, next time you're gonna get some quality music. It will probably mean that it's gonna get muted, but hey, you know, no one cares how this material reaches YouTube, right? So, yeah. Now, also, don't tell Zai, but I'm gonna have a drink as well. It can't be worse than Kitty's tastes. Hey, what do you mean? We're headbanging with Kitty every Saturday on World of Warcraft. Are you fucking kidding? Kitty's taste is fucking amazing. And very much as mine. We've been listening to Korn, fucking Disturbed, Adena, like Slipknot. Doja Cat and Nightcore. What happened to Kitty? Oh my fucking god. Who did this? Come on, Nightcore? Isn't that stuff dead anyway? At this point, yeah, don't ask me. What? Kitty used to listen to some bangers. What happened? Let me just crack this bottle open. Quick BRB. I was gonna do that in my BRB, so yeah, I'll be back. Are there like any rules I should be aware of, like for consumption of alcohol on stream? Listen, let's pretend it's water, okay? Which it is not. But let's pretend it is. I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna regret this so hard. Alright, so do I need to make any changes? Like, let's see. What would happen if I went over to OBS right now and changed my category to cyberpunk? Oh shit, you know what's gonna happen if I do that? Everyone who wants to watch cyberpunk is gonna fucking tune in. What a disaster. This is the same problem that I have like streaming MMOs. Oh my god. The speedrun community is gonna shred me. Okay, so let's see. How would this work? Twitch better fucking auto-separate these parts, because good luck fucking separating that shit. Should I restart my stream? Is that a smarter idea? Wait, I'll Google this. Before we go, I'll Google this. Just give me a second, okay? Because this is important to me as someone who vehemently refuses to fucking edit her videos, I would just... I'm molding right now. Okay, so... Jesus Christ, is there like no fucking simple answer on this? Everything is about hot tub and like... Oh my god. Uh, there is no... Like, listen, the answers they're giving is just like, what? Jesus, why is that so fucking... Why is this one question so fucking crazy? Hey, I won't risk it. What I'll do, which I understand might actually affect like views and everything, and I can't care for that. I honestly can't care for that for various reasons. I'm sorry. So what I'll do is I'll restart my stream. I don't edit. I just upload as it is. So I think if I change categories, I found no concrete answer. It seems like if I change categories, it's still gonna be the same fucking stream. It's still gonna save us one stream. We could test it. We could do it and see if it's going to stop and like archive everything I've said and done up until now. But like, you know, if it doesn't, I'll have to actually do the thing. So why not save everyone the trouble and just cut it here and restart the stream in like 5 minutes? Isn't that like more reasonable, right? Because then everyone who doesn't want to watch Cyberpunk can, you know, can go watch what they want to watch, and then, you know, that will also let the all the cyberpunks all the cyberpunks know that I'm cyber streaming. Can I go get another whiskey? Yeah, you're gonna need it. I'm gonna need it. All right, we're gonna both be drinking. So listen, this is it. As always, I'll just cut the stream here, and I'm gonna restart with Cyberpunk. And honestly, I don't know for how long that's gonna be, but whatever. I was gonna game anyway, so if Baldur's not happening, then Cyberpunk is happening. Alright, so as far as this stream goes, thank you for watching. If you want, in a couple of minutes, I'll just set up my Cyberpunk stream and you can rejoin. And if you were here only to hear me whine and bitch, that has been accomplished. So thank you for being here for that. Thank you, Pressure Matt, for your generosity with 100 bits. And with your compliments as well. Very sneaky. And I'll see you in a bit for some Cyberpunk, okay? And eventually I will also get my answer on whether or not this shit separates streams when you change category, because like no one, it seems no one cares for this answer. Everyone cares if it's okay to stream like fucking you know, pools and hot tubs and whatnot, and I couldn't filter out an answer from all of that. Nothing seemed to answer my question adequately. So yeah, here goes. I'll see you in a bit if you're interested in Cyberpunk, and if not, I'll see you on Monday for some, well, you guessed it, some fucking Cyberpunk. So you're fucked anyway. All right, thank you for watching though. Those of you who are leaving and want to rejoin, and I'll see you in a little bit, okay? And for now, goodbye, and have a great Saturday night.